Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me. Let me get my live. Let me get my. Yeah, I started already. Let me get my theme song in here, everybody, because I want to give my buddy. Get what here? I told you not to give me my breakfast yet. It's too early. It's not 10 o'clock yet. We got a good show today.
The real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty gritty. Boots on the ground.
Thank y'all for your patience. I always like to get that in now since I'm able to find it again. Welcome to the NTZ crew. Thank y'all so much. I see Jacob Tanje on here, Beach Alive. I sent a link out to John. He's out of the hospital. Well, he left the hospital in Dumaguete. He's making arrangements to go to Cebu and trying to get in Changhua Hospital. I see B-Bay. Thank you for your support. Hey, is that Jasmine? Yeah. There's Jacob Tanje. Yeah, today's subject is going to be, are you an alpha or beta? And it's a really good discussion, man. I've been reading up on this because I really wanted to find out, is there a true alpha or a true beta? And what I found out really shocked me. And I think we'll let you be the decision on that. Hey, Jason. But before we get started, let me say that the peso is 51.24, man. That's high. That's very, very good. In Manila, they've actually started the no vaccination, no ride policy. If you're not fully vaccinated in Manila, you cannot ride public transportation starting today. They're serious about this COVID over here, man, and spread of COVID. It's actually the COVID cases are on decline now. They're at a negative growth rate. Remember, Sunday I said Octa said it went from 5% to 3%, and whenever it gets to the negative, you're going to see a drop in the cases. They've already they're already saying that by March it's going to be back to pre-Omicron numbers, like 300 cases a day or something. And at that time, the Philippines was about ready to open. So I'm just reading between the lines. I don't know really what that situation is going to be like. But right now, I'm going to introduce my panel. I've got Rudy on here. He's my Ed McMahon. Rudy.
How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Oh, pretty much. I'm just hanging out with you, checking out with things and so forth. Also checking my crypto and so forth like that on my side.
Crypto. Oh, okay. Now, do you consider yourself a alpha or beta?
On my side, in my work, of course, I'm an alpha because of the fact that I handle a lot of things and they stuff. But in my personal life, I think I'm a beta.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Rudy, you're very intelligent, man, and you're right. And I was going to say that because I'm going to read later on. I'm going to read the characteristics. I wrote them down of both. Not this one. It's this one. I wrote them down. The betas over here and the alphas over here. And what I discovered in my studies was this. It says there's no true alpha or beta. there's only alpha or beta behavior. It says most of us exhibit both traits. It says you may be an alpha on the job, but a beta in your relationship. You see, Rudy just said that. Or you may be an alpha in your relationship and beta in your career. They said it's a choice, really. It said they're labels. It's really all about changing your mindset. And I found that real interesting, man, because most of us, if you asked us, we're going to say, of course, alpha. We'll say that without even really knowing what an alpha really is. No one's going to say, oh, I'm a beta, because the betas guys are supposed to be physically weak and all of that. But when I read you these characteristics, well, they're not really characteristics, but traits, you're going to see that you're a combination, really. What would you say you are, Alpina, or just right off the top?
Man, I mean, shoot, I'm gonna say alpha.
Yeah, you're gonna say
saying?
alpha.
I'm gonna say
Everybody's gonna say alpha.
Yeah,
Now, while you're on that, let me read you the traits of an alpha, and tell me if this is you all the way down.
all right.
Okay. This is crazy because I thought to myself, I've never met anyone like this that has all these traits. Okay. First is highly intelligent. Number 2 is fearless. Number 3 is a natural leader. 4 is magnetic personality. 5 is super successful. 6 is great intuition. 7 is always sure to stay ahead in life. 8 is not affected by criticisms, and what people think about you. 9 is you're a fast decision maker. 10 is rarely admits mistakes. 11 does not allow others to interfere in their life. 12 is goal driven. 13 is knows how to charm a lady. And 14 is usually unemotional. Now, there's nobody that I know, including myself, that fits all of those. Now, some of these, because me and my girlfriend, we were talking about it today, and I just told her to be honest. The first thing she told me was, you know how to charm a lady. Well, of course, I'm going to say that. But yeah, that's so. Do you have all of these traits, Alpina?
No, man. I mean, shoot, I'll probably say, maybe close to half, a little less than half. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
When you lay it down like that, shit.
Yeah. Most of us will say, well, alpha, but we don't really know what an alpha is. Nobody's a true alpha 100% of the time, all throughout their life and their circumstance relationships, man. I've never met a true alpha now that I've been doing this research. But Heather Feather says, how's John doing? He seems to think, now he's probably watching this, I don't know, that he's okay. He got some information from the doctors and the hospital there and some people who have been in the same situation as him. And he made a decision. He didn't want to have the procedure done in Dumaguete. He's going to go to Cebu City. He's going to try to get in Changhua Hospital. I suggested to him because, John is grown. You can I said, man, why don't you just go straight over there, man? But he came home. He's home now. He said he's stable. And
so he didn't get no procedure done or nothing?
Nothing. He just came home waiting to get in there. So let's keep your prayers and well wishes because he's going to need them, guys.
Yeah, shout out to John, man. Man, keep your head up, John. You listening to this. Keep your head up. For real.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely he's going to need it. Beach of Light says, I remember the first time Calvin played that song, I was like, nah. Now I'm like, yeah. I liked it the first time I heard it, but it needs time to grow on some people, man. And I haven't been playing it.
I'm gonna keep it real. When I first heard it a few times, first couple of times, I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of weak, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of grew on me though. You know, after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
And a lot of songs, man, it's what happens to us. A lot of songs, when you first hear them, you don't like them. But that's why they call it programming. They'll play it over and over and over and over until you like it. Hey, Robert Dame said he's an alpha. So when I read all that down that list, you truly still believe that. Now, okay. And I'll, if you wanted me to go back over, I will. But here's the beta traits. All right. Relies on others to make decisions for him. That's number one. Number two, never faced his bullies. Number three is cannot say or stand his ground. 4 is people and friends make fun of him. 5 is makes excuses. 6 is no sense of style. 7 is a follower, not a leader. 8 doesn't trust himself. 9 is gets offended easily. 10 is does not communicate openly. 11, he's physically weak. 12, always in the friend zone with women. He's not confident enough to ask for the sale. 13 is has passive pastimes, video games, watching nonstop Netflix, spends hours on social media. 14 is he can't look people in the eye when he talks to them. He don't look people in the eye. 15 is not sexually active. Long periods of sex in between, times. He doesn't have it regularly. He has a big ego because he tries to hide a lot of the lies that he, because he plays up his importance. 17 doesn't take risk. 18 is difficult to be vulnerable with others. 19 is controlling. And 20 is feels his life is not important or not improving. Sorry. And see, that's a lot though. But I think if you listen in closely and you be honest with yourself, you're really like a combination of that stuff, man. And I agree with them. They say it's a choice that you make. You can be an alpha today and make a choice to be a beta the next day, or just in your decision making, your behavior. But let's hear it from some guys. What are you really? I mean, everybody's going to say you're an alpha, but are you really an alpha? Or are you a combination of both?
Calvin.
Yeah.
Can we bring Texas DeSoy into this, because he wants to say something regarding, I think, alpha.
Rudy, this is my show, man. You don't be inviting people on my show.
No, I'm just asking you if you want to go on and so forth. I'm not saying
not today, because normally I would let him, but today I've got other people that are coming on now. If they don't show up, I'll add him. But I don't want to get too many people on here, and you know how they get.
No problem.
Okay, Gentleman Johnson says, I'm finally home here in the Philippines. All right, brother. When'd you get here? Truman Lucci says, being vaccinated or not should have absolutely nothing to do with travel. If vax can get it and spread it, so why mandates? Makes no sense at all. Well, remember what I tell you about the Philippines. And if you're talking about the Philippines, nothing makes sense over here. It's never going to make sense. And it's not supposed to, because you're in the Philippines. But yeah, starting today in Manila, you have to have proof of your vaccination, and you have to show it to the driver. Now, of course, just like Truman says, all that's really going to do is create a market for fake vaccine cards. That's really what it's going to do. Have you ever been here to the Philippines, Alpina?
Yeah, I've been there about several times.
How old are you, man? You look like one of the younger guys on my channel.
43.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You look younger than that, man. You looking like in your 20s, man.
Oh man, appreciate that.
Where you from?
I'm from California, from LA.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man, I'm reading a book right now. Let me get it real quick.
Hey, Rudy. What's up, Rudy? Shout out to you, Rudy.
Thank you.
Sure.
All the way from Guam, bro. All the way from Guam.
I just started this book, man. They're talking about the LAPD and the battle to redeem American policing. Man, this thing is already, look at this. I just started. It's already off the chain, man. This is a great book, man, by the way.
Right.
You know, and man, they some treacherous, man, that LAPD ain't no joke, Alpine. I guess you probably know that.
Yeah, firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few people that work for LAPD.
Hey, Neil Stewart, thanks for that super chat. He said, greetings. He said, I'm an alpha when the situation calls for it. Otherwise, I'm chilled. When you think the Philippines will open, your guess is good as mine. But if Octa is correct, which they've been correct on a lot of, they've been tracking this over here. They said by March, they're going to be back to pre-Omicron numbers, which if you remember, the Philippines had made plans to officially open December the 1st. But then the Omicron came and shut all that down. So I probably somewhere around March or April.
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to be over there mid-December. I was supposed to be there on vacation up until mid-January. But, man, them plane tickets was, man, I ain't balling like that.
I know that's right. Hey, TJ Johnson, thanks for the super chat. He said most people will be a split between the alpha and the beta, 80, 20, 70, 30. And I believe that. I'm in agreement with that, but I didn't know that at first.
I'll run with that.
Yeah, I thought that you could be a true alpha or a true beta, but there's not really any true. Here's what he actually said. He says, I'm probably somewhere in the realm of 80-20, but I definitely have my 70-30 or 90-10 moments. And I agree with you, man. It's a choice. But if you look at some of this stuff, okay, I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to, the alpha, my part, highly intelligent. I would say that. Fearless, no, but I've learned to be fearless. Being an insurance agent, man, you got to be fearless, but I'm not fearless all the time. Natural leader, magnetic personality, super successful. See all this stuff. Now, great intuition, yeah, I do. That's how I do a lot of things. How I decide who to help, when to help, what videos to make. Always sure to stay ahead in life. See, that's not me. Not affected by criticisms. Not as much anymore. I let a lot of stuff roll off me. Fast decision making. See, that's not me. Rarely admits mistakes, but I admit my mistakes. See, and I just learned that though. Does not allow others to interfere in their life. That's me. Goal driven. That's me. Know how to charm a lady. That's me. Usually unemotional. See, that's not me. So I don't have all those characteristics. Now, do I have some characteristics of the beta? Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you one, gets offended easily. Would be one. I'm just being honest.
Right.
And that's the only way you can, find out whether you one or the other. But the rest of this stuff, man, this is kind of doesn't take risks. See, that's not true for me. Big ego, that's not me.
You're taking a risk by living in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a big risk.
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with it. It can change you. So let me ask you something, Rudy. What's a good tip, a good crypto tip today?
Well, right now I know everything. Everybody's looking at crypto and down, like down. But as you know, there's ups and downs. I would get right now, usually everything that's under Ethereum or even the DeFi blockchain, those are very good, what you might call buy-in right now, because sooner or later, once it comes in, what you call, and everything starts going back up, you're going to make profit from it because, as you know, nobody knows this, but Ethereum is 3 times as more profitable than Bitcoin is. So, anytime Bitcoin goes up, you're going to get 3 times as much from Ethereum, because they use gas and so forth like that to expedite the transfers of Ethereum through to their own blockchain. So that's the thing that's up. So any kind of Ethereum or even in the DeFi blockchain that's happening right now, which is a good buy in, because of the fact that sooner or later, once Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum is going to go up 3 times as fast.
Okay, so what's the minimum that you can purchase of that Ethereum?
Oh, you can. I mean, if you're in Coinbase and other stuff, you can go in as you can buy $5, $10, or even $100 like that, and no matter how small it is, it just as long as it's in your wallet and so forth, and then later on when it starts going up, you'll see the profits, and then you can just take the profits off of it. Or if you want it, you can tell your bank account from Coinbase, they'll take out a small portion every payday or so forth like that for so that you'll get into it right away, so that once it starts going up, you'll notice that it starts coming up, because crypto is 24 hours a day, Calvin, as you know. So it's not like Monday through Friday. No, it's 24 hours a day. It goes up and down. You'll see it. So if you want to invest in it right away, you can, and then it will start to gain you profits almost immediately once you start to buy in. But don't be afraid if it starts going down, because it's just that the volatility of it, but it will go up sooner or later at supposedly by the middle of this year or so forth, or even maybe by March or stuff, before summer ends, it's going to start to go up again, because right now it's stable at 42,000 Bitcoin is, and Ethereum's like, I think it's about 3,000 or somewhere around that, hovering around that, but it will go up. And once Bitcoin goes up, then of course Ethereum is going to go up 3 times as fast.
Yeah. So what you're saying is this isn't for somebody to try to get in and get a quick buck. Are you saying that to be patient and
Oh yes, don't
stay in the
don't be
game?
FOMO. Don't be in a FOMO, which is fear of missing out. Because right now it's good time to buy in, because of the fact that it's low, so you can get more. But then later on, you're gonna be sorry that you are only going it when it starts going up, because of the fact that you're gonna miss out when it's low. And right now, it's a good time to buy in on the coins that are low, specifically in the DeFi network, and watch it go up. Because when you do the DeFi network, what happens is that there's lending, staking, and farming in it, where you can get profits by passive income. And those
Oh,
those
okay.
are the ones that you can get back. Because I know you guys like passive income, because you just keep it in there and then it just multiplies it every day for you. But as you know, there's the traders and what you call it, the people who exchange up at the level of what you might trading, or like stocks, and they get more out of it. But I know some people just can't watch every day, so you can go into it that way, as in putting in passive income by staking, farming, and that way you can just leave it there, and then it'll gain interest for you every day, even lending.
Let me ask you something. If you were to advise someone,
Yeah,
would it be smart to buy a whole coin? Like you said, this Ethereum is $3,000,
yeah.
right? Would that be something good to do? I mean, if you could afford to do it, or just buy a percentage, like you're saying,
Yes.
Five, 10, $5 or 10, 20, $100 or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't afford it, then
You know what I'm saying? If you
if you
can't
can, then
afford it,
yes, definitely, because of the fact that you'll see your profit margin. The more whole the coin is, at the more profits you'll see right away. Because as you know, you hold that whole coin, so the profit margin of it, when you see it go up $1,000, then you just made $1,000 that fast. You don't see
now
portion by portion.
is it if I see it go up 1,000, can I take that 1,000 out, or what can I
Yes, you
do?
can. Yes, you can. You can withdraw it right away, and then, of course, you made a profit from it. So just keep. Okay, I'll give you a good example. When Bitcoin was down at 3,000, way back when in 2017, I bought one Bitcoin. I made a loan from the bank, and I got one Bitcoin. Now everybody thought I was stupid, but then a couple days later and so forth, it went up to 12,000, and
How
so
much? How much?
12,000 to 12,000.
Wow.
So what I did was that when it went up that high, I took out the 3,000. I paid off the loan, so I have no more loan. And then I took 4,000. I went on a trip to the Philippines.
So you didn't buy another Bitcoin though?
No, but I just let it grow. I just remember now. I mine Bitcoin every day, so
Yeah.
I get. I mean, at the end of the week, I can get between right now the margin which I make is $70 to $100 every week in Bitcoin, just mining it. So I know I can get what you call this. I can get my profits back through that, or even including my investments of farming and staking and also lending. So I have those other passive incomes that come in. So I will get back whatever I put in, or whatever I've lost, because of the fact that I have passive income always coming in.
Okay. I saw what Jason Flint and Smoky Mountain Modeler, they said, well, who gives a damn? It's like the Jordan LeBron thing. It's just a conversation starter, guys. And that's what we're trying to do. Just have some good open communication with everybody. It always is going to very often to something else, because this is your live stream, really. When I see something over here, whatever you want to talk about, but I've got to have something, you know, as the topic. I always like to have a topic. And even though you may be true about the Jordan and LeBron thing, it gets some interesting conversations going. Um, but I'm going to look into this Bitcoin. I'm going to save up a little money, and I'm probably just going to buy one Ethereum coin. This is
Okay.
3,000. I can do that. I can't do the
Yeah.
42,000.
Oh no, just I mean, Calvin, like I said, you can buy portions and portions of the coin and watch it grow up, like I do. I mean, imagine I only mine Bitcoin, and I get like $100, $70 to $100, or even more every week, because of the mining, what it does. And so every week I see my profits go up and up, no matter what, because of the fact that if Bitcoin goes up, then of course my profits go up. And then what I do when the profits is that I change it over to another coin or so forth like that, and I watch that thing go up. Because the way it goes is that if you can get into a coin that's very, very low, right, and it's just starting out, and watch that thing, then you can get 25, 55, or even 50 to 100 times your money when you went in.
Yeah, I want to go back to something real quick. Jeffrey Tatter, the guy that I respect a lot over in Japan, he says he'll never get vaxxed. I just want, we're not going to get into this, because this is really an argument. This is really a Jordan, LeBron type of argument. But I just want to know, what's the difference about this vaccine where nobody wants to take it versus all the other vaccines when the government says, hey, you need to take it. We didn't have a problem with it. I don't understand. That's the only thing I can't understand. Why are so many people pushing back on this vaccine versus the other vaccine? I don't get that. Beach of Life says, I grew up in LA. Inglewood PD rode me on my bike a few times. I mean, they're talking about the culture, guys, and it's a wonder that it's the way it was up until 92. It's some crazy stuff, man, you read in this book, but people don't believe it, man. You know, police departments, they have their own marketing and promotion agencies, man, and even the shows that come on TV, a lot of these police forces have a say in that, how police are supposed to be portrayed. White, in good physical shape, and morally superior to the people they're policing. This is deep, man. And this guy, man, he's already talking about this stuff already. And it's stuff that you never really think about. But yeah, it's deep, man. It's police out here. I'm not talking about them all. Their training. It's thrown into their training.
I was there in the LA riots in '92.
Yeah, this
there.
book is interesting, man. Hey, Jeff Small, thanks for that super sticker. Sean Richardson says, I disappoint you refuse to reply. Listen, guys, let me tell y'all something. This thing is like a ticker over here. I didn't even see what you said, Sean. It doesn't just stay there and wait for me to answer it, man. Whatever it is you wanted to say, you could have said it in this, and I'd have got it. I don't get that, guys. Don't get mad about that. Y'all don't understand. Go on a live stream and be the have your own live stream, and you'll see when you get, you know, all the people. Right now, this is one of the lowest I usually have, 183. Normally, I've got like 350 people watching and maybe 150 people comment. Come on, guys, don't be like that. See, that's beta behavior right there.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Kuya Buffalo Dan said, beat your life. LAPD road me jaywalking. 3 cars for jaywalking. Yeah, well, I had my run in with the police. Well, hell, actually, they had the run in on me, and it was the LMPD is what, the Louisville Metro Police Department. They had the wrong house, man. The SWAT team ran up on me, man, and my family, man. They terrorized us, man. And I've just had a different view of the police ever since. When I was little, we had a police. He used to a beat cop, man. Everybody knew him. He was nice. He knew everybody else. He would only mess with the bad guys. But in my situation, man, I don't even have a traffic ticket, and they brought the full force down on me and my family, man. And remember, my daughter that just turned 19, she was Booby's age. Now, imagine these cocksuckers come in your house and hog-tying a little baby like that with the zip ties. They zip tied us, everybody, man, with the damn AR-15s out because they thought we were these bad guys from Chicago. But I'm sorry, but you got the wrong house, man. Hey, what's going on, Flip Wilson? Is that Houston, Texas? HTX. He said, much respect, Calvin. Been watching your videos all day and love the info. Thank you, man. That's how you get the 5 million views. If it wasn't for you guys, there would be no Sunshine Show. Hey, what's up, Frank Tate? Are you an alpha or beta? Charles Butler. This makes a lot of sense. He says, me personally, I make no mistakes. I have learning experiences. Okay. Now, this guy, I think he's selling Bitcoin, right? Haunted and Alone. He's going online on Thursday. Much love from Seattle. Don't want to talk about the pop no more. What's that? Oh, he said, yeah, he's selling something, guys. I'm not going to do that. R68 DVR says, the Sunshine Show, hopefully this signifies that John's blockages are in the peripheral arteries of the RCA or circumflex. Minor or no damage to the heart muscle in most cases if treated promptly. Yeah, let's hope so. Remember John had a heart attack before, and that's the only thing that kind of worries me. Hey, Larry and Stacy said, good morning, Brother Calvin. Tuning in from Tagaytay. Hey, thanks, man. The one and only time I went to Tagaytay, man, I had that damn jet lag was on me. I don't even remember the tour. I just remember coming back, seeing the tall volcano.
Tagaytay. Is that Luzon?
Yes, Luzon. That's north of Manila. How far is that? I just remember riding about 3.5 hours or something like that.
Yeah, that's close to my area, Calvin. That's close to Bacoor, Cavite.
And it's nice and cool up that way too.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot more spread out once you get outside of that damn Manila, man. He said, can you use Robinhood in the Philippines? What is that, Rudy? You heard of that before?
Robinhood is a trading app that they use for stocks and crypto. I'm pretty sure it can be. You just have to, of course, do the TYC. Prove yourself. That's about it. Once you prove yourself on the that NYC or so forth like that, then you can actually trade with it, and then you can trade crypto, you can trade stocks and so forth like that. They actually give you free stocks if you join with them for the first time.
Okay. Now this guy says I'm promoting investing. No, I'm not. We talk about what my viewers want to talk about. Crypto is real popular now, and people want to talk about it, man. You can get your own channel if you want, and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but you're not gonna come on here and tell me what to talk about. Yeah, TJ Johnson says he's back in the States. He's been back since December. How long were you here, TJ? Were you here 6 months? Beat Your Life says, TJ Johnson, I'm getting offers to get into the Salesforce ecosystem. And I was wondering if you know if companies over there use that CRM. Muchi said, Calvin, you can buy a fraction of any crypto. So if you put $10 and it's worth 100, you will get 10% of the coin. Yeah, I knew that, but I was just asking Rudy, is there any advantage to buying the whole coin if you can afford it? And he said, yeah, your profits are more. Okay, says Frank Tate said alphas dance to their tune. Yeah, sometimes, I think we go back and forth. To be honest with you. Kuya Buffalo Dan says they thought that Squid coin was a good buy. Look what happened to that scam. Yeah, you got to be careful. And that Ethereum Max, I see where they've got a class action lawsuit against Floyd Mayweather and a couple of other people and a couple of more celebrities for that pump and dump. They came out and promoted it, and of course the price went way up. Then they sold. They got out. They dumped theirs and made the profit. Then it went back down. So you got to be careful about that. Hey, retired 19. He says NFL playoffs and off the hamster wheel. Life is great. Now, there's no games today, right? Perry Henry said, I agree with Jason. Yeah, but we just want to have a conversation. And we can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. But this is just a conversation. I'm glad that, that's like a compliment to say that it's like the Michael Jordan and LeBron James GOAT argument. That's a big argument, man. That's a big debate that's going to probably go on until I die, I'm sure. But Muchi T said, Rudy, please elaborate how Ethereum can go up at 3 times the rate of Bitcoin. What's the play behind that?
Well, the thing is that everything nowadays is under what you call it. There's a new what you call it, a platform that's out there with Ethereum is called DeFinance, and that DeFi is the one with that's the one that's driving it to go up because there's no middleman, so it's making it go up high in profitability and so forth once you invest in it. When you invest in it as a passive income, you're investing in it as a what you might call either farming or lending or even just staking it. So with that in mind, the passive income of those streams are high and going through because some people just don't want to watch or invest. They just put it into get profit passively. So when you do it then what happens is that you get your profits directly to you instead of a middleman. So that's what's driving everything up. There's some what you might call weird coins out there called Pancake and so forth like that, where you can do staking and even farming on it on Pancake, and you can get tons and tons of coins back. And of course, everybody likes that to hold it until it goes up. Then they sell it for profits or withdraw it. So or they change it to Bitcoin and then they can just get it out of that one. The transfer rates out of that are outrageous sometimes when they do that. So what's driving it is the the DeFi platforms and so forth that are out there that make those coins profitable.
Okay, before I ask this next question, we've got a new face to the panel. This is Chaz. He's been trying to get on here, but his work schedule has stopped him from coming on. Kind of give us a little background and your connection to the Philippines, Chaz.
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
What's up, Chaz?
Well, let's see. My last trip to the Philippines was 2017, and I didn't want to leave when I left. Let's put it that way. Wow. I found your channel through Ned. I was watching one of Ned's broadcasts, and he recommended your channel. And ever since then, jumping between yours.
Oh, okay, Ned. That's my Philippines paradise. He went down. T-Man 57 had a question for you, Rudy. He says, what do you think about the dog coin?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you this, that the dog coins, the Shiba coin, and also that Dogecoin, what you call this? I know they're cheap and so forth like that, but they usually pump and dump those coins. A good example is that I was in Dogecoin for the longest time, and that's that dog coin that you say that was a shit coin or that's a nothing coin because it was so cheap. But I found out that when you keep on mining it and so forth, because I used to mine the coin, I had, like I said, I had over 500,000 of those coins when I finally stopped mining. But I thought it would be nothing until the coin started shooting up to 7 cents and then 15 cents. So imagine what 7 cents, multiply that by the 500,000 coins that I had. So
hold on, Rudy.
Sure.
Let me address these guys.
Okay.
They obviously aren't listening. We're not giving advice. We're just talking about the crypto. I mean, this is a channel that we're all over the place, guys. I mean, y'all being real petty today. I mean, y'all know we talk about everything on my channel. It's just some questions coming to Rudy about Bitcoin. I'm not a financial advisor. I didn't say anything about, hey, whether you should invest, whether you should not. I mean, come on, man. You know, they're asking questions to Rudy, and that's why I got the panel. He's going to answer them if he wants to answer, and I'm going to let him answer them. But I'm not advising anybody about anything, guys. You know, you guys are really getting petty with that, man.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. I can see the.
Yeah, they're getting petty with that, man. We're not, y'all know I'm not a financial advisor. I got 700 videos, and not one of them is about investing. And then you want to come over here and tell me, oh, you need a financial advisor tag, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. But Chaz is back. Finish. Where you from, Chaz?
I'm from D.C.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
ever watch that guy DC Born Rob? I think he's in South America or something.
No, I don't think so. That channel doesn't sound familiar to me, no.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine. His name was Neil Robinson. He was a basketball player back in the '80s. He went. Um, he lived in D.C. He played basketball there, and he was there during the time of Rayful Edmonds. You remember him? Well, Chad's got a bad connection. Okay, Chaz. You remember Rayful Edmonds?
Yeah, I remember Rayful Edmonds. Yes, yes. Um, the Dirty Dozen, Rayful Edmonds. Yeah, and a couple other famous names that went along with that era.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that era. I was
mhm.
reading a book on that, man. It's pretty treacherous back in them days, man. They guys was killing. Man, that crack era, man. It was a lot of deaths, man.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
was
of senseless
stationed
killing.
in Fayetteville in I think it was '84, and a buddy of mine, he was from Linden, New Jersey, and he came back from leave, and one of the things he said to me, he told me, he said, "Man,
Okay, JX says, can the panel break down their plan to move to the Philippines and their budget? I came back
that crack
good.
was hurting people."
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah, you
crack.
get your connection. You stopped and then you started again. But anyway, do you plan on coming back here, Chaz? I
On
mean,
the
to stay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I plan on getting over there in about once I get off the hamster wheel. Yes, but I'm hoping that if not this year, when the Philippines reopens, I'll be able to come back next year. Yeah.
What kind of budget are you going to be working with? That's what JX wants to know. And I asked everybody the same thing.
hmm Um, I'm be looking at about 2,000 a month,
Yeah. Um,
realistically.
yeah, realistically. Yeah. And that's a nice piece of money over here. When I did the video, uh, a foreigners rich in the Philippines, you'll be shocked. And I put that 3,800.
How's
People
that one?
kept keep coming at me still now because YouTube has put it back in circulation, and people are saying, "Well, that's 3,800. You can live comfortable anywhere, but you're not considered rich. You're considered rich here on $3,808 per month. That's a big
Nice.
difference than living comfortably, guys. And it's also a reference point. Say, for instance, somebody like Chaz, he said, I got 2,000. Well, if 3,800 makes you rich, half of that, which is about 2,000, well, he's well off over here.
Yeah, I
And
don't want to be too flashy. I don't want to be that guy that's targeted.
Hey,
Um,
I got a
uh,
question for you, Chaz.
hmm
Hey, when you was in the Philippines in 2017, right?
hmm
Where were you? Like, where at in the Philippines?
Uh, Dumaguete.
Okay, so you
Uh,
was down there by Cal then.
yeah, yeah. And from looking at the videos from his last trip into Dumaguete, the boulevard is completely different, totally different. I mean, it looks like um, if you've ever been to the Georgetown Walkway here in DC and or the riverfront out in Oxon Hill, Maryland, it looks something like that. Um,
yeah,
it's grown up, honestly. Yeah.
it has. Well, you wouldn't believe it. That place has changed totally since I was there pre-pandemic. I was there February 2020.
hmm
Okay. And you saw the video I made in December 2021. It changed completely. None of that was there. Only that
Yeah.
one little stretch that was there when you were in Dumaguete, Chaz.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a restaurant that sits, I believe it's called, I think it's the Chateau. I could be wrong. There's a
what's
Calif. Go ahead.
yeah,
There's a California Pizza Kitchen and a 7-Eleven that sits along there. Now, when I was there in 2011, the strip was busy up until a certain hour, but then it would just kind of slowly die out. But now, because this is going back from when I was there in 2017, um, I noticed that I only walked a couple of blocks to the restaurant just to buy a pack of cigarettes at the 7-Eleven, and that was from the Pizza Kitchen, California Pizza Kitchen. And I looked
Yeah.
around and I saw this cop following me, and I'm like, "What the hell?" So I'm looking around like, "Did I do something?" I kept on about my business, and I get back and I asked my friend. I said, "Why is this cop following me?" She says, "It's a tourist cop. The cop is there to watch after tourists to ensure that um, he or she is not robbed, and or the kids are not harassing him for change to make sure they don't get mugged." I'm like, "Huh? The hell?"
Oh wow.
I, that was one of the. I mean, I've seen it in Angela City, but that was the first time I had seen it in like Dumaguete. It was just kind of weird to me.
Tourist
I don't
police.
know. Tourist police.
Okay, they got those in I think it was Pattaya in Thailand. Tourist police on Walking Street.
Yeah, I saw a video on that.
Yeah,
They even have
they make sure
foreign
make
national
sure y'all all
volunteers for
right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it kind of shook me up. I mean, I wasn't scared, but it just kind of unnerved me a little bit that I would need a tourist cop just to walk down the street to get a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. Well, Dumagetti's blown up. I first went to Dumagetti in 2010. Man, it's nothing like what you guys are used to seeing now. It was just a little sleepy town. You could
Hmm.
walk across the street blindfolded. You wouldn't have to worry about getting run over by a car. But then when that in 2014, when that Forbes magazine article came out and listed Dumagetti as one of the top 5 or top 7 places in the world to retire, it
Hmm.
just blew up, man. I mean, it's never going to be the same anymore. Um, and that's why you
Hmm.
got the Dumagetti of today with all them. I've never seen a tourist cop, but I can see now where uh, it would be useful in Dumagetti because it's a lot of foreigners. You go on that strip now, you
Hmm.
see more foreigners you ever seen before. Now, Eric Brown said Calvin the Green List is able to travel, but not tourists, Eric. You got to understand, I see a lot of posts about, the Philippines is opening back up and this and that, February 16th. Well, it's not with tourists, guys. Don't get that um, twisted. When the Philippines opens for tourists, it's going to be front page news. It's going to be all over the planet because this is one of the last places that hasn't opened. Imagine that. Think about that. I mean, has never reopened at all. So, yeah, it's going to be big news when it happens. Well, there's John Wells. He said, Brian Nichols, thanks, Brian. I'm trying.
Hey, John, hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah. Uh, Prairie Henriksen says, I subscribe to Sunshine Shows and old dog new tricks. Just because Paul and Calvin are telling it real without the fluff. Yeah, I don't think it would do any good, Perry, if I fluffed it up. And remember, the Philippines don't need any hype. It's already hyped. It's going to hype itself. When you get over here, I just be sharing my experiences because I know a lot of guys are, they're interested in coming who've never been interested before. And I just want to kind of give them a general idea of what it's like over here. You're going to see something different. And I tell people that all the time. What was your experience like, Alpina, when you came here?
My first time,
Yeah, what'd you fly into?
man. I flew into Manila. Um, my first time I came for all right, don't beat me up now. I came for 7 days because I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not. Right. Um, a few years back, some of my partners, they went to the Philippines while we were stationed over in Korea, and I was supposed to go with them, but I got called back to the States because I had, emergency, so I couldn't go. Right. So fast forward to 2013, I was like, man, I got a little money in my pocket. Let me go ahead and make that trip to the Philippines myself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and before I went, I did a little, internet recon or whatever. Um, had some coworkers, what I'm saying, that's from the Philippines that would tell me, hey, you should if you go to the Philippines, don't go directly into Manila, go to Makati, you know what I'm saying, kind of ease in it a little bit, because they was from Luzon, right? And so I kind of took their word, and then what I mean, I met a couple females online, you know what I'm saying, so I, what I'm saying, have somebody to kick it with when I get there, and and that was my experience. And when I got there, you know what I'm saying, it was the bomb. I went and stayed in Makati, and you know what I'm saying, I went around a few places, and it was cool. And you know what I mean, that was my first experience, and it was only 7 days, but I've been back like 5 or 6 times after that.
So you were in Korea when you came here?
No, I was supposed to go there when I was in Korea, but I didn't get a chance to. So my partners, you know what I'm saying, they had went and told me, they had a nice time. It was cool. I should go because I was supposed to go with them. But years later on down the line, I went.
You were home. You were home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was already back in the States at home.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I said, let me go in and check it out. And I went on and did that. And I had a good time, man.
Did you hook up with anybody? I mean, I'm saying, what I mean is, did you get serious with anybody? Or you were just over here?
Yeah. I met somebody a year later and got serious with him and messed around and got married and had a child. You know what I'm saying? And the whole nine. And
okay, so you got a child over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
How old is
you
she's
still
7 right now. She's 7 years old. She's staying with my in-laws. We were supposed to go pick her up in like I said, in December. Me, my wife, and we was gonna go get her and bring her back to the house, bring her home, because we left her there, because of the COVID thing wasn't so bad there as it is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So she's still over here in the Philippines then?
Yeah, she's still over there. So turned out, like when I was saying earlier about the airlines fares, it was gonna be like 10,000 for all 3 of us just to go and come back. You know what I'm saying? So
wow.
I'm gonna send my wife. She gonna go there in either February or March. Go scoop her up and bring her back to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, this is great info. This is great information right here. And this is what I always try to pass on to new guys. He says, TJ Johnson says, the city of Manila is pretty skippable these days. Metro Manila is always a good time, but yeah, could see how it's not a first try. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest coming to Manila the first time, but at the same time, you don't want to come to the Philippines and not go to Manila. Just to see.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Mall of Asia is a sight to see. It's a huge, I don't know what you would call it. It's not even a museum. It's like
Mall of Asia is too goddamn big, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm ready to go.
What was the last year you was here, Alpina?
I was there. When was we there? 2021. 2021 January last year.
Oh, so your girlfriend's there with you now?
My wife, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've been across the street to that little bay walk now where they got the Ferris wheel and all that, right?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. Manila Bay.
Yeah, but not the bay that's down by the U.S. Embassy. I'm talking about right across from the Mall of Asia. They've got this little
the carnival, like the little all the people in the little stands and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, that's what I tell guys. A lot of guys hadn't been back. That's been there for a while, but now they've got the Ferris wheel and they fixed it up pretty good.
Yeah, women everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry Stacy said my suggestion would be to get out of Manila some after you land at the airport. Yeah, that's a great information, guys, right there. I mean, I'm glad you guys bearing witness to that. I mean, it's just
I'm trying to get down there with where you at, though.
Huh?
I'm trying to get down there. I was trying to go land in Cebu this time around to go check out, the Visayas region where you at, because I heard, I've been watching your videos. You know what I'm saying, and you know what I mean. I got anxiety too. You know what I'm saying, and then I don't like all that traffic.
Yeah, but see, Rock's here now. Rock Harmon's here, and he's bored. And I told Rock, I said, well, he's down in Bacala. I said, just do what you do at home, man. Why are you bored? I said, He said, I like to ride a bike. I said, well, buy a bike. Hell, you got that big ass truck, man. You got just an unbelievable truck. Buy your bike. He said, I like to work out. Work out. Do you read? Whatever you do. But yeah, he's bored. And a lot of people get bored when they come here, but I don't, because the weather here will give you an opportunity to get into just about anything you want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But to be bored here, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is a game on. Gary Walker says the 21-0 Rams. Who are they playing? Arizona?
Los Angeles Rams. Shit. I completely forgot, but I know it was on.
Is it Arizona Cardinals? Hey, Rudy, when's the last time you've been to the Philippines?
2 years ago.
Oh, you was?
I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go there during my checkup, which I usually go for the summer, because I have a general checkup at St. Luke's, but I couldn't go because of COVID. So I couldn't go way back when, and I still haven't gone there for my checkup yet.
Wow, they're beating the Cardinals 21-0. What happened? Is the quarterback hurt or something for the Cardinals? He said that's not a game, that's a slaughter. Wow. I'm kind of shocked about that. Well, at least the Rams are back in. Oh, the game's over. At least the Rams are back in L.A. Hell, I remember the St. Louis Rams. I was like, where are we at? What? This is the 1930s or something. But let's see. What did TJ say about? Okay, no, he said. Larry says Manila's a nice city, but way too busy for my taste. I would tell people to at least go see the U.S. Embassy, go to see the Veterans Memorial for sure. Go to see that, because none of us would be here without the sacrifices they made.
So,
and it's really just a great place. I mean, it's immaculate. The grounds are immaculate. Intramural City, I would go there, but I would definitely go down by that Manila Bay Walk and the Embassy. What's that? Is that Ermita? Is that what that is? I like that area, and if you are going to fly into Manila and you're going to meet up in Manila, they've got some great priced condominiums on Airbnb.
Yeah, use Airbnb, because if you go down there, you walk into one of those condos that they have on, say, TripAdvisor or whatever, they're going to charge you a $100 fee on top of whatever the rate is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would. When I took my son February of 2019 to complete his CRBA, we stayed right across from the embassy in Ermita. It was $23 a night, and this place was nice. I was on like the 26th floor or something. I can't remember, but yes, it's really, really a good area, man. I mean, it's a touristy area, and with a lot of traffic, but you're not really that far from the Mall of Asia and different places like that. And if you like to gamble, they got some nice casinos in Manila.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they
John
got
Wells,
one in the mall there.
yeah, Fred Smith, I'm finally stable. I'm preparing to go to Cebu for angioplasty. There's one hospital in Dumaguete that does it, but they are still in the pioneering phase of learning it. It scared me. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Hey, Michael Onstead, he says, looking forward to joining your panel next week. Hey, thanks, man, for the super chat. Looking forward to having you on here, man. And, it's just informal. Don't wear a tuxedo or anything like that on here, Mike.
Yeah.
That's what Rudy had on the first time he came on the show, a damn tuxedo. What are you doing? Where was you going, Rudy? Looked like you was going to your funeral.
Which one?
Oh shit. Um,
Flip Wilson, HCX said, we planned on going back and forth between Monsanto and Makati since my wife's family is wealthy in that region. You got me thinking about other slower paced areas to visit. I would kind of mix it up, man. I wouldn't spend all my time. I mean, but that's all you got is 2 weeks and you can't go anywhere else, and you don't have a choice. But if you're going to be here 3 or 4 weeks, I'd say slow it down a little bit because that's one of the reasons. Remember my video, I said Philippines is the worst place to retire. It's because it's one of the best places in the world to do nothing and one of the worst places to do nothing. If you come to these places, see, Rock, they went to Siquijor Island, and he didn't like it because nobody was there, but that's the reason I like it, because nobody's there. Some people don't like that slowed down stuff. They're used to that fast pace. Because I tell you, to get quiet here, man. If you don't like peace and quiet, you don't want to come down here in the Visayas region and a lot of places in the Philippines. When you get outside in urban cities, it's like a big farm or something.
Yeah, you're not used to waking up to the roosters and the dogs constantly barking. You might want to stay in a metropolitan area because the roosters crow all day.
Yeah.
The dogs bark. They're like the alarms.
Yeah.
And it will annoy you, but after a while, you will get over it. So in that first week, you'll probably try to pull your hair out because you get tired of it. But hey, it's just the way of life. You gotta deal with it.
Yeah. See, like now, if you listen, and y'all know where I am. Hell, I'm in Rooster Haven. I got pigs across from me, dogs all over the place, goats right over here. But it's quiet right now. But there's a time, man, when you hear all that stuff. And on my video for my fence, and y'all hear that pig screaming, they wasn't killing him. My girlfriend looked at the video. She said they're fighting over food over there.
Damn.
Yeah. And Roger's got a question. He said, would you date a Filipino woman even if she's worked in the bar before? Is it a big deal with you? Anybody can answer this question. I wouldn't date her. It's a big deal to me. Now, that's just me. I'm funny like that.
It depended on how long she worked in the bar. You gotta understand, some of these young women, they didn't go to the bar because they wanted to. It's a matter of survival.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the bar girls in the bars. I mean, I holler at them, you know what I'm saying, knock them down. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna leave them in the bar though.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You might get lucky and find that one diamond in the rough that's only been there 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. That's true too.
But here's the thing though, Chaz. No matter how long you've been at bar, one day, man, you're gonna be traumatized. You've been at damn bar one day, man. Hell.
Yeah, because
you can be traumatized, man. They've got a photo going around on Facebook. It's got these 2 big black guys and this little bitty thin Filipino, and the post says, "Today's gonna be a long day." And even if you're in that one day, man, I mean, then now you got to deal with that. Oh no, because that's where a lot of the nicest looking women are in the bars. Have you ever been to the bars, Rudy?
They fine.
Yes, I have. Why? Usually when I was what you call it, single, when I used to go back, I used to go to a lot of bars in Manila and also the province. Actually, the province is much cheaper.
Oh, is it? Oh, of course it
The
is.
beer is so cheap, 50 pesos per beer. How
Yeah.
can you go wrong with that?
What about the women? Are they cheap too?
Yeah, they are.
You know, when I made a video, I said pandemic booty. People got mad at me about it. I'm like, man, why? I'm just telling you the truth. The pandemic has caused the price of booty to come down. It's at an all-time low. There was a guy who got a couple, a pedicab driver and a prostitute got busted having sex in Iloilo City, and she told the policeman that he paid her 200 pesos for sex. Man, that's $4.
So with that.
Yeah, but that was the local price. Ain't no way
cheap.
in hell we gonna get it for $4 because they gonna
Yeah,
see
you
it.
might get it for 10 though. You might get it for 500.
Well, that's true too. But see, for those who've never been to a bar, so you pay the bar fine, okay, and then you have to negotiate with the girl. So don't just think just because you paid that bar fine that you're all set for the night. You still got to pay that girl.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's true.
Yeah, you're paying the bar fine and then you negotiate with her. But a lot of times it's for the whole night, though. It's not like
yeah, it's for the full girlfriend experience. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not like over in America where you just pay for they put you on the clock 30 minutes or whatever you got. You better you better handle your business. See, I can't work off the clock. That's why the only time I've ever dealt with women like that was when I was in the Navy. And you don't have a choice, man. You be out to sea for so long, it becomes automatic. You know, you don't even think about it. You get with the woman and boom, and then it's over. But now that I've been out of the Navy, I can't go in those. I can't deal with prostitutes, man. I'm not good on the clock. I'm not, man. You know, and then that's just me.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I go for that short time thing. Knock one down, go get another one after that.
But yeah, I
the
don't
rate
think
that some of them be charging you though, because you got to remember the thicker. we like them thick and shapely.
Yeah.
You know, we want some pockets full back there.
Yeah,
but
it's hard thickness though.
Exactly. So and they already know that when a brother coming along and they done checked out the package, the goods, they're going, oh, he ready to pay. For those who just trying to get their willy wet, they're gonna jump on the first thing coming.
Yeah.
Would you call them, Calvin? Joes and Johns?
Yeah.
Those are the ones who gonna fall for every freelancer that they run into, not realizing that the freelancer is just a streetwalker. I guess is what you would call them.
Yeah, that's all they are. And that's, but when we come over here, I'd say the worst thing you could do is be desperate when you get here. And that's, unfortunately, a lot of us are. When we get here, we're desperate. And you see a woman like that, and she may be the best thing you've ever seen before. But you so in a hurry, because that happened to me in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The minute we got off the boat, because the aircraft carrier was docked way out, for security reasons. So you had to ride the ferry. And the minute you got on land, I mean, it's just a bunch of women just standing up there, man. I mean, these are beautiful women, but I'm thinking, well, hell, I've been out to sea for 73 days. And you see this, it was a black woman that I had. I mean, she was a perfect, I thought. And hell, it was all over with, and we eventually get to town. I'm like, hell, I wasted my money. I was satisfied though, but if I'd have just waited a little bit longer, I could have had the cream de la cream for less money. By the way, Jason Flint says, Roger and Esmeralda vlogs, I would. and would have no problem, but I don't think I would be with her long, only because I don't want to be the one to try and change a hoe into a housewife, just being real. Now, when he's talking about dating, Jason, he's talking about, getting with her and signing the visa and bringing her home and all of that. I don't know if I don't want to do that. I don't think I'd want to do that. But do we know for real? See, that's another thing. A lot of bar girls are online now, but you don't know it. You don't even know it. She's not going to tell you. And that's why I say, it's a lot of dynamics that you can't even see just chatting online. And she's reeling you in, but you don't know if she's a bar girl or not till you get over here. A. Patterson says, no, we don't need to. Plenty of regular non-bar girls in the Philippines to choose from as a foreigner. And yeah, I agree with that.
Plenty.
But a lot of guys, they come over, they're Johns. They're not looking for a relationship. So hell yeah, they'll deal with a bar girl because, they know there's no souvenirs to buy. They don't have to meet the family, and they don't have to jump through hoops and turn flips like the regular guys do.
No
they put us
strings attached
when we come over here, guys. They don't have to walk up a 2-mile mountain and eat native chicken and all of that like we do.
Yeah.
Nemesis Wolf says, we'll be living in San Pablo City, Laguna, when I finally get over there. My girlfriend has Rice Hotel retail business based there, but her family's from San Jose, Neva. I can't never pronounce this. Who can Asia? So probably going between both. Now I know, you probably trying to impress us with this Rice Hotel business, but that's really nothing, guys. I tried to set my girlfriend up with that when I first met her. And all it is she's buying it from, her supplier and then reselling it. And they usually resell it by credit. And that's why we got out of it, because I don't have the patience to wait to get paid like that every 2 weeks. And then once they pay you, it's almost like the crack dealer used to do me. I'd pay him what I owe him, and then I'd borrow more again until the next time I got paid. And that's how it was turning out for me. And I was like, nah, I don't want that. Because you always had more money out there than you had, in profits. All your profit was out there, and it depended on them. And I didn't like that. And sometimes you go over there to get the money and she's not at work, or can you wait till the next 2 weeks? And I didn't want to do it. But it's a good business to get in. Rice, imagine, yeah. He said, Calvin, what's the update about the 1,000 house building? They've already bought the materials for the first house. I don't know if it's been delivered yet. They haven't got back with me yet. The roads up there are bad. Did y'all see? Well, the next time I go, I'm going to take a video and show you how to get up there. Imagine trying to take hollow blocks and stuff up there. But we did buy the materials for the first house, and I'm waiting to hear, has it been delivered? Have they even started? Because when they do, now it's alert 3. For me to go over there, I'm going to have to take a swab test and all that, which I don't mind. I'll do it. But yeah. Roger and Ismail the Block said, I hear you, brother. Thanks for your opinion at Jason Flint and at A. Patterson. This must be a video that they're going to do, which it's a good question, but you never really know over here. Jim Cruz says, how do you get your VA meds over there? And what's the closest VA hospital? There's an outpatient VA clinic in Manila. That's the only place, the only VA clinic I know. You have to sign up for it, Jim. And also for the medical, what is it? The foreign medical program. You have to sign up for those before you can have access to them. You can't just come over here and stop in there. And they would write you prescriptions and stuff that way. But yes, it's in Manila. It's on the same grounds as the U.S. Embassy, but it's an outpatient clinic only. Hey, it's Kandari TV. Thanks for that super chat. He said, "Good morning, everyone. Nice to see this community come together, dropping gems to each other." And that's really all it's about. We're not selling Bitcoin. Uh, we're not selling booty. We're not doing any of that. We're not selling anything. We're just trying to, share the information we have in the Philippines. What's going to be your budget over here, Rudy, when you finally make it?
For my retirement, I should make like 2,500 to 3,000.
Oh, okay. It's TJ Johnson said, Sunshine Show, you got panel slots right now. I said a bit more weight than I thought it would be. Yeah, I can bring you and Texas on. Do you have the, Rudy, since you're online, do you have the, wait, TJ, I'll send you that link.
What's
Hold
that?
on, guys. You can send the link to Texas, and I'll send it to TJ.
Okay. I'll send it to Texas right now.
Well, actually, I could put the link up here, couldn't I?
Yes, you can. And then they can just click on it.
Yeah, there it is right here, TJ. Eric Brown says, Calvin, is privacy important to you? Absolutely. I think it's important to everybody. Now, they'll say, when Edward Snowden came out with those revelations about the government spying on everybody, people was like, oh, man, I ain't got nothing to hide. But still, privacy, you have a right to your privacy. And if you didn't think privacy was important, why do you have a lock on your bedroom door? And why do you have a lock on your bathroom door if privacy isn't important? And it's a fact that people act differently when they know somebody's watching. All right. Now, if you're having sex with your wife, but you know that 100 people is watching, you're going to be different, man. You're not going to be the same. So, yeah, privacy is very important to me. And it should be important to everybody. So don't come with that, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't got anything to hide stuff. No, I don't want them spying on me. What about anybody on the panel? Is privacy important to you? I mean, really, guys?
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah.
Definitely privacy.
Yeah, you don't want anybody spying on you, man. Hey, there's TJ Johnson. What's up, TJ? Where are you now?
Hey, what's up, Calvin? What's up, everybody? I'm in Brooklyn right now. I
What's up,
just got here. That's the main reason I came back to the States was to head up some projects outside of the New York office.
How long were you here? I can't remember. You wasn't here 6 months, were you?
Yeah, I was here like exactly half a year. Anything more than that, you start to get into like weird double taxation stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing about you can only earn money while being taxed in the United States while being in another country, as far as certain countries go, for a certain amount of days. I believe it's like 182. And then after that, there are some instances in which you can be taxed both in wherever you're residing, if you're holding residence in the Philippines, and of course where you're living in the States. And yeah, it's not fun. So
So
yeah, that's that.
how important is privacy to you, TJ?
I mean, I'm a relatively private guy, so for me, I would rather, have the extra privacy than not have it. But, You can't just live the entirety of life cloistered up either. So it's give and take. I'm a relatively private person, but of course you can't always be like that, and I understand that. So
I mean, it's
that's why I
important
said,
to you, though, right? You're
no,
not one of them
definitely.
guys that say, "Oh, they can watch me all they want. I'm not doing anything wrong." You're not
Nah,
one of those.
nah, nah. If I'm not doing anything wrong and a security guard still follows me around like a store, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, okay, do. Like for me, and maybe that's just because I'm a black man from America, but my reaction is I'm definitely gonna take some sort of offense to it, especially because I'm usually spending a lot of money if I come to a store where somebody has the time and expense to follow me around. Like you might be, about to drop a big bag on behalf of the store because I get offended and say, you know what, it's especially here in New York or like San Francisco, there are a billion stores selling nice things. I'll vote with my wallet most of the time.
Yeah. Iskandari TV says, Eric, if he has to use a community shower and toilet, I bet it become important. Yeah. And you see a lot of that over here.
Yeah,
Uh,
what is it?
But
5 pesos just to take a leak in one of the
yeah.
roadside.
And they got this trough. There's no,
Hmm.
there's no what you call it, separation.
Yeah,
Everybody just
there's
goes
no
there.
stalls. It's just
Yeah, there's
one
no,
long.
it's just one long
Yeah,
trough, and you
yeah,
gotta just pull
and
it out.
ain't no sense of privacy around that motherfucker.
if you're
And that's
traveling
crazy
on the
right there.
bus and you need to go to one of those things, the worst that's the worst time to wear flip flops. Just
Oh
saying.
no, there's no need for that. Oh
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
I'm
you
that's
just
foul.
saying.
Hey, that's real though. He right.
Hey, look, you walk in, they're throwing water across the floor, but there's no mopping or squeegeeing or
None
anything.
of
And
that.
then of course, I mean, come on, you let your imagination flow. Flip flops are not the
yeah,
right time.
they're
Not
gonna
that.
look. They're gonna look at you because they want to know, is the myth correct? You know, they're gonna look at you like, I
Yeah, they
want to see
want
if
to know. They
black
want to
man
know if
looks like.
black guys grow tails and shit like that. So hey,
They're worried about the front tail more often than not, however. So
no,
Yeah,
that's
I was
yeah,
referencing the joke from back during World War II, and
They
yeah. But
believe
where.
that
hell,
shit too.
okay, in
Hmm.
the late '80s, I was working for Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. We were working in a promotion warehouse, and it was me and another guy. We got the job only because people were retiring. Well, anyway, everybody that we worked with were mostly older white people who could have retired, but Brown and Williamson had moved the factory to Macon, Georgia. Well, anyway, there was a lady. She told me, I was just like, well, what do you know about black people, and what is your experience with black people? She said, well, Calvin, to be honest with you, and I don't want to offend you, she said, but when we were growing up, we were told that black people had tails. And she
Damn.
told me that in 1989, and I was just kind of shocked.
Hmm.
So yeah, that wasn't way back. Uh,
It wasn't that far ago. It's yeah,
that
a
wasn't
lot of
far.
people who've never gone
Tails.
outside their little world
He said,
are
boy,
amazed to
Joseph
find out.
said, Calvin, go to the stall, a proud alpha. That's crazy. Yeah. It's some stuff like that will shock you when you come over here. Culture shock, really. Uh, I guess you would call it culture shock.
Tails.
Having to pee in that trough like that with everybody right beside you and stuff. And then a lot of times they don't have any. The soap doesn't work. The water doesn't work in there. There's no paper towels. You know, a
Just
lot
Yeah,
of
you got
nasty.
to
times
pay for
you go
you
in
got
those
to pay for
bathrooms.
the little sheets that you get. I'm just saying, bring your own sanitizer and your own little
I bring
supply
my
of
own,
TP. Yeah,
wipes and all that shit.
yep.
Michael Miller says, Calvin, my life dream has always been to explore all the Philippine islands. For a week or two, I would probably find a local. It doesn't matter if she's a local or bar girl. Yeah, that's a lot, man.
uh
That's a lot of traveling.
All right.
Yeah, there are,
Right,
as
right.
they
Right,
will
bro.
tell you, a bunch in the Philippines. There are 7,640 islands of the Philippines. So,
It's not
whew,
gonna happen in a week or two,
bring
bro. Trust me.
bring snacks, brother.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Shit.
well, 2,000 are, inhabited. That's a lot of places, man.
Shit. It
Uh,
is.
and that's a fact. But, wherever you go, close around you, there's going to be beaches and other islands. Like you were down in Davao. Did you ever go to Samal Island, TJ?
Yeah. No, I love Samoa. We actually went for staff lunch once because it's right there off the docks. It's kind of wild, like thought wise, because in America you think of city beach. At least for me, you think stuff like Ocean Beach in San Francisco or Coney Island in New York, or like maybe if you're really fancy, like South Beach in Miami. So think of like a city island where everybody in the city gets on like a little ferry and goes to like this tropical paradise 6 minutes across the water. It's a pretty wild concept. And it's definitely they're starting to develop there a lot too. So I think they'll once they open back up, we'll probably see a lot of folks start to head that way.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful over there. I know that little island because of the fact that that's where Pearl Farm, the resort, is at. That's where I want to go, and that's beautiful because that's a high end class resort, strictly for what you might call relaxing. You might say.
Yeah.
Mm. Pearl
It's
For
Farm is
funny that
nice.
relaxing, what kind of relaxing would that be, Rudy? Elaborate.
Oh, you know what kind of relaxing that would be.
it's funny that you bring up that pearl farm because the biggest pearl ever found is here in the Philippines. And it's crazy. The farmer, of course, he's an uneducated farmer. He finds the damn thing. It's worth like something like, I want to say $100 million. And they just take it from him. They
Damn.
don't give him nothing in return. They just take it from him, man. I'm like, how does that work? You know, he finds this big ass pearl, the biggest in the world. Research it, man. It
Hmm.
happened not too long ago. And they just came and
Mhm.
took it from him and said, hey, you got to give that up. I'd have been like, man, come on.
The government took it from him.
Yeah. They
Oh
just
well,
took
hell,
it.
he ain't got a leg to stand on. Because you
No, he ain't got
look.
a leg to stand on. Um,
Hit you a Mabuhay. We'll be holding that for you.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like, if that would happen in America, you could tell it. I mean, he'd be rich beyond his wildest dreams. I don't know if they gave him something, but the last I saw, they didn't give him nothing.
A house or nothing? No
Wow.
house. Damn.
Nothing. He found the biggest pearl in the world. Um, my Philippines exploration said, brother, come to Camigan Island. It is the safest and drug-free province, just 2 hour boat ride south of Bahal. Extremely beautiful place. I'm from Bronx, New York. I've been there one time, but it was in 2011, and I always wanted to go back. We went to they've got a sandbar, maybe, I guess it's like a 3 or 4 minute boat ride from Camigan Island, but it's one of the smallest islands in the Philippines. But yeah, it's really nice.
Did
It's in
Comedian
northern,
dodge the typhoon?
yeah, it's in northern uh, Mindanao. I was in Cagayan de Oro, and I caught a bus. I guess it's like 2.5 to 3 hour ride on the bus, and then you take a ferry, another 45-minute ride. But yeah, it's really nice. Um,
Did it survive the typhoon? Is it fine after that?
Yeah, it is. It's
yeah,
it's
they rebuilt. It's fine. Not sure,
Okay.
gal. Not sure, gal.
Yeah, I went to Siargao right before I left. I was in Siargao right at the end of November. It was amazing. Cloud Nine, the pier, all that stuff is just complete wash. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, John Wells said Nemesis Wolf. Everything might be fine. I live here. My advice is to be very cautious with your money. You're a foreigner. You cannot own land and can only own 40% of the business. Yeah, that's the basics of it. Um, there's some ways around that. One of the probably one of the richest men in Negros Occidental. He's one of my subscribers. When I did a video on that, I married a Filipino scammer, and I talked about the man who lost a 10 million peso house here. And I said that in the video, but he said, hey, he said, Calvin, there is some ways that a foreigner can own land here. He didn't get specific. He said, you don't always have to enter into one of those sugar contracts. That's what he called it. And I thought that was a great analogy. But yeah, he's an ex-congressman. He's a philanthropist. All the schools around here are named after him, by the way. And he said, yeah, there are some ways you can, but for the normal guy, I guess you'd have to go in and talk to a lawyer. But on the surface, he's right. You got to have a 60% Filipino stake in that. And,
that's also for business as well, isn't it, Cal?
Yeah, well, that's what he's talking about. 60% of the business has to be owned by a Filipino partner. Unless you got like a corporation or something. You have to come over and talk to one of those lawyers. But on the surface, he's right like that. He said the best way is to buy a condo. Yeah, you can own a condo right straight out. But John always says be worth more alive than dead. If you enter into a business where you're 40% owner and the Filipino 60% owner, and it's a successful business, then you're probably going to be worth more dead than alive. So
hey, Calvin, remember I have land.
Oh yeah. You can inherit land, right?
Yes.
Rudy?
Yes, you can. I have land, but as you know, I can't do nothing with it because of the fact I can't sell it or anything because I inherited it from my father. And I'm not a Filipino citizen yet.
Yeah. Now, I seen a remark. I was gonna put it up. He said, "This looks like the BET version of the panel," but they don't realize Rudy's not black. Are you, Rudy?
No, I'm pure Filipino.
That's what I thought.
He black tonight.
weren't the original Filipinos black?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're brown skin.
Yeah,
They're brown skin. They're brown
But
skin.
I tell you what, man, they, and somebody told me, said, well, somebody asked me, said, well, why do they, you hardly ever hear Filipinos talk about that or, take claim to that. I said, well, hell, if you've been under 350 years of Spanish rule and then 50 years of American rule, would they had that beat out of them. You wouldn't be talking about nothing black. Yeah. That's just a fact. Roy Johnson, my wife, says I'm worthless.
Oh shit.
He says you look like a brother to me, Rudy.
Really? I don't know. Really, I'm a brother.
It's a put down to me, man.
We'll start
say Rudy looks like
calling
a
him
brother.
Kuya. What's up, Kuya?
Kuya, that's right, Kuya.
Yeah, so Kuya Rudy.
Yeah, that's a slap in the face to say Rudy looks like a brother. Let me bring him up close and I'll show you. Damn, brother. They said, Rudy, you still my brother, though. Yeah, Rudy's cool. Let's see. And Iskandari TV says, I say, he said, my property faces directly at Comedian. One day I will explore. Since your gal got hit hard, people will go there at Bahal. Yeah. Now, before I discovered Siquijor Island, Bahal used to be my hangout spot. I'd go to Panglao Bahal, but it's actually closer to me than Siquijor. But Camigan's a nice place. But if you're coming from like Manila or someplace like that, you probably have to fly into Cagayan de Oro and then take that bus. Um,
Hey, Cal, I got a question for you.
yeah, go ahead.
Hey, down there where you at, in that region is Visayas, right?
Yeah, this is considered Western Versailles
Do
region.
they have any ITAs down there, or are they all on Luzon?
What you say? ISIS?
ITA? Do they have
Yeah.
any ITAs out
Well,
there,
they're
or are they all
mostly
on
up.
Luzon?
Yeah, they're mostly up. It's really, I don't know if it's even Luzon. It's where, if you go to Boracay, that's considered the Western Versailles region. There's a place called Antique, and they got an island not far from there. It's nothing but Adas.
Yeah,
And that's why if you want to see a real Ada, you can go to Boracay because a lot of them work there. And
yeah.
they just black. They just
I
look
got a
like
chance
black
to hang out
people.
with them. In 2013, I went up to a village in what was it, Zambales, Pampanga, and I
Yeah.
hung out with them up there. Man, yeah, afros, the whole nine. Man, the real
Mm-hmm.
hospitable people, man.
Yeah, they stay isolated. They're real
Yeah,
isolated. I mean, they're extremely shy.
yeah,
I mean, I tried to when we went, I wanted to introduce my son to this little dude that was working. I guess he was delivering. Man, he saw us coming toward him. He took off, man. He left his what do you call that thing where you
his cart.
yeah. He left that, man. He flew.
Yeah, it was cool.
My Philippines exploration says, guys, you can contact me if you want to know the best ways to get around in Mindanao. I've been all over Mindanao. Yeah, Mindanao is not as bad as what people say it is. It's got a reputation. Now, Marawi, um, Zamboanga, and all down through there, yeah. But a lot of them other places. Did you have any problems, TJ, when you were in Davao?
No, and I did a little travel around Mindanao. Like we traveled to Siargao by road. I went up into the mountains, the Buddha, and then past that into like Valencia and Bukidnon. And there's no problems. It just the roads are less than perfect, so it takes a long time to travel, not very long. Like you could be a 200-300 mile trip could take you upwards of 7, 8, 9 hours on Philippine roads. So that's just trade offs.
Yeah, I remember, but it's better now from what I was told. Because a friend of mine, he's back in the States, but he left his wife and family here. Um, they're in somewhere in between General Santos and Davao. And I took a bus from Davao to General Santos. Man, it took us 3 hours, but he said it's not that bad now. That was back in 2010. He
Yeah,
said
they're
it's not.
improving right around like the arteries though, so it's only like around the big cities. So like you'll see a lot of improvement in like Davao and Jinsan. Um, if you're up north, like they were doing obviously a lot of stuff around Cagayan. Um, Before the typhoon, Surigao, and all those areas, the roads are really smooth and easily navigable. But there's a lot of gray area in between those, where you're on
Yeah.
a mountain road that's paved on one side, unpaved on the other side, and it has 1 foot of railing preventing you from a 75-foot fall, and people are flying by on scooters doing a solid 80, 90 with no regard for the wind. So yeah, it's again, it's a mix, but definitely around the city, it's very smooth.
Yeah, I'm glad that you use that word. It's a lot of gray areas because it is. It's a lot of gray areas in the Philippines. You could come someplace and you be like, man, hell, it's almost like I'm at home. But then you'll go to other places, you'll be like, man, yeah, it's the Philippines. I mean,
Yeah, buddy.
yeah. A High says, what do you spend on groceries per month, Calvin? I'm considering the Baguio area. I'm gonna
Right.
go on the high end. I'm gonna say $400. That's a drop in the bucket in America where I'm from. But I'm gonna say 400 because I usually go to the grocery store every Sunday, but we don't get our meat at the grocery store except for the chicken. We usually go to she goes to the market every single day. and she'll buy them stuff. You know, she'll buy me apples because apples are expensive here. Bananas are expensive. I mean, compared to Filipino standards. But she'll buy like dried fish. She buys those little small fish for them. I don't eat that stuff. I'll eat like the bigger pieces of fish. And to me, it's not expensive. To them, it is. It may be $3.80 per kilo, and you're talking about 380 pesos per kilo. A kilo is 2.5 pounds. So you might as well say, let's say $8 for 2.5 pounds of blue marlin or lapu lapu. I mean, really a great cut of
good
fish.
Stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Hey Calvin, can I address your Baguio tour? I mean the Baguio thing. I mean, I think
Sure.
those people. Baguio is a very very cold place. It's the weather's like San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I want
I
to go.
mean, I used to stay. I mean, that's where I took my ex-wife before, and we spent Christmas there and so forth. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, especially Camp John Hay, where the military had its recreational facilities. Oh my god, that place is beautiful. Pine trees and what you might call golf courses. It's like
So what do you need? A jacket or a sweater?
oh hell yeah! You need that. It gets when you breathe out, you have steam coming out of your mouth. That's how cold it gets.
Yeah, sometimes it drops down to like 16 degrees
Yes.
Celsius, man. That's
yeah.
Let me see what that would be.
Yeah, that's cold.
You're talking about in the Philippines, man.
Yes, in the Philippines, up in Baguio, it gets that cold.
That's like 60. That's like 60 degrees, man.
It gets that cold. Trust me, it gets. I couldn't believe how cold it gets. I'm like, are you sure we're in the Philippines?
Yeah, and you gotta realize at 80 degrees, Filipinos are cold, so you can imagine what 60 would do to them.
Oh yeah, and you can even have. I mean, I couldn't believe that they you can buy strawberries up there because of the weather and it's fresh. You can pick them out of the what you might call where the farm is right there, and they'll pick it out for you.
Is that where the strawberries are?
Oh yes, there is strawberry festival up there.
Yeah, because you don't see strawberries here. You don't see strawberries where I live.
I think it's mostly mountainous places in the Philippines because when you get up into like Buda, going towards Bukidnon and Mindanao, you start to see lots and lots of places selling strawberries, preserves, jam, all that good stuff. But when you like get down lowland, like I never really saw that stuff in Manila outside of like specialty stores. But definitely you can run into it when you get up in altitude.
I tell you, some of the best pineapples I've ever tasted were here in the Philippines. And up where you're talking about in Bukidnon, I took a tour up there before to that big, is it Dole or Del Monte? I can't remember which one, the plantation up there.
Del Monte, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but also if you go to Ormoc City here in Lady, that's what they're known for. I'm talking about they got these little bitty pineapples, man. They're sweet. I mean, they're delicious. I eat my fruit cold anyhow, and it's the best I've ever tasted, man. You know, a lot of things you get in America, it's that old genetically modified stuff, and
man,
it's not like when you're over here. Especially with the bananas. The bananas have no taste to me in America like they do over here. Them Lacatine bananas, man, they're sweet, man. I could eat them. If you're trying to quit sweets, the bananas over here can help you. You get that craving for sweets and you bite into one of the bananas. Yeah.
Mangoes are
just
the
like
big one for
the
me.
chickens is
mango too. Yeah.
Yeah, mangoes like a mango shake. Once you have a mango shake in the Philippines, it's like smoothie places doesn't even cut it anymore. Like the mango we get in the States is like we're getting like third string mangoes. We're maybe getting second string mangoes on a good day because they're definitely keeping the best ones for inside the Philippines.
Yeah.
In the States, it's more about presentation than it is about taste.
Yeah.
He said, hey there, Cali Cal in the panel. Glad to be here with you good guys. Brasilero Shelton, I think you've been to Brazil. He was hooked on Brazil. He said he's going to give the Philippines a try. Have you ever been here before or not? I'm not sure. Hey, Michael Miller, thanks for that super sticker. But yeah, you get a lot of, because people always ask me all the time about, are there a lot of vegans over here? And well, I say, yeah, by default, a lot of people over there can't afford to buy meat and stuff like that. But if you're saying, will it be hard to live that type of lifestyle over here? No, they've got a lot of fruits and vegetables over here.
That said, if you're outside of a major city, I feel like you'll find yourself explaining yourself a lot as a vegan. Like if you're not in a Manila or a Cebu or a Davao, like if you don't eat something and it's not for religious reasons, you're really gonna have to break that down. Especially because outside of those three, a lot of people are, again, like you're saying, they're eating for subsistence. So if there's fish, we eat fish today. If there's meat, we eat meat today. If there's neither and there's just rice, then we eat rice today. So for you to be like, oh yeah, well I only eat this certain thing from this thing from this thing, and I was like, why? And it's like because it's a preference. For a lot of people here, that's just like
they ain't trying to
you're
hear
not
that.
gonna be able to order that.
Like what?
It's gonna be very few places that's going to serve vegan meals, and even buying it in the store, unless you go to some place like you said, Cebu, Manila, places like that. Michael Mill said, Calvin, when searching flights, it seems cheaper to fly into Manila than Cebu. It is. On average, it is. And that's because, Manila's the metropolis. That's where all the flights, it's like the hub, really. But I think that's going to change eventually because Cebu put billions and billions of rehab. They rehabbed their airport, and it's on par, if not better than Manila. But yeah, you're right. But I flew into Cebu in 2018, man, and my ticket from Chicago to Cebu was less than $600. But this is pre-pandemic, and that's the lowest I've ever had, by the way.
Wow.
I had an 11-hour layover in Hong Kong, though, but I didn't care, man. I wasn't in no hurry. I was in a hurry to get out of the United States, but as far as buying a ticket, and I bought my ticket 2 months prior.
So that was a round trip?
Other thing, Mike.
Yeah, I
Hong
paid
Kong's a nice layover
almost.
too.
I paid almost $900 for mine. I flew from DC into Detroit, from Detroit into Incheon, and then straight into Manila.
That's not a bad
900?
price, though.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be
How
trying to
long
look
ago was
at
that?
search no flights right now.
That was in 2017.
Hey guys, I'm so close, right?
Yeah, how much does a
3 hours.
round trip?
Okay, pre-pandemic, the lowest fare you can get round trip from Guam to Manila is probably $400 or less, like 200 some. That's the cheapest you can get because we're only 3 hours away. That's it.
Yeah, I had priced a round trip because I was going to use Guam as my immigration run. It wasn't even $300, but remember, this is pre-pandemic.
Yes.
Because I was just looking, because I wouldn't try to price no flights right now. It's crazy.
Oh, Calvin, let me add this to the mix. Do you guys know that there is a place in Luwag, which is Ilocos Norte, which is up north, right? I've been there because of the fact that that's where I met my ex. And what it is that there is right next to the airport in Luwag, there is a golf course that used to be owned by Ferdinand Marcos, and they converted it into a golf course and a casino. And the only people that they get there coming from is Hong Kong, because Hong Kong people, Chinese people like to gamble, so they have flights from Hong Kong to Luwag to gamble.
Play golf and gamble all day.
To the Philippines, Danny here, and I don't mean change the subject, but when we were talking about that uh, Pearl Farm earlier. This is where his girlfriend's from in that little region. He said it's nice. Did you go there, TJ, to the Pearl Farm, or did you just go to?
No, I day trip. For me, it was. I definitely understand the allure of it, but for me, it was too close to like Pro Farms, like higher end, like especially during COVID. Like Pro Farm was asking like starting at like 400 a night midweek, and it made sense because for a lot of people, if you couldn't leave the region, there's only so many 5-star hotels or resorts in Mindanao. So, that was kind of just the price it stuck at. It's too close to home for me. I'm not going to pay, $500 a night to stay at a place where I can literally see the skyscraper that I live in. So I usually, like, I did mostly Siargao. The other big one in that area is Luby Plantation, but I did see Pearl Farm. We went day passing. And it's cool. They're oceanfront cottages. So if you ever seen like videos of like the Maldives or Tahiti, where you have like the cottages that are like just right on the water, kind of over stilts, and you have the whole like as soon as you open the door, you just see the sea. It's a scaled down version of that essentially.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's also the 2-story cottages and the cottages up on the mountaintops or the mountain itself. Those are the three kind of cottages that they have.
hey, Lynn 102, I see you back on here again. Now, Maximus says that flights from Chicago to Manila is around 1900 this time of year. Probably right now, if you were to
Yeah,
try to,
right now.
I don't, because what I had Dana Middleton on here last week, and he said demand has a lot to do with the cost of a ticket. Because I was trying to ask him when's the best time, day, and all of that to buy a ticket. But I bought man 2 months ahead of time. It had a lot to do with it. I guess John is answering Lynn 102 that says, this kind of talk scares me when I hear people say this, by the way. Lynn is asking John, are you okay? And John says, well, I haven't had a heart attack in 48 hours. And I've got everything here that I need in the event I have a heart attack.
Oh my God.
And that, I don't know, man.
That's a very John answer though. If nothing else, you
Yeah,
know that it's
yeah.
him typing 1,000%.
Mhm.
Yeah, it sound like him.
Yeah. But I don't blame John for leaving that place because imagine you're in Dumaguete now, and they've never done one angioplasty at the major hospital, and Silliman University Medical Center is like a teaching hospital. I mean, what would it take for them to bring in a skilled surgeon from Cebu, which is where they really do them on a daily basis, to do Maggette, bring everybody in, let him do it on John, and then you wouldn't have to, then it wouldn't be pioneering anymore. But it doesn't work like that here. But I don't blame you, John. I wouldn't have been the guinea pig either. More than likely, you wouldn't have made it. You would not have made it through that. I don't want to be
Yeah,
anybody's guinea pig.
exactly. I don't want anybody performing surgery on me that has to ask for like notes or like, hey, could you step in? I forgot this part. Sorry, my bad.
No, thank you. If you
What do
got
I
to
do
use
Yeah,
after I
Cliff
open the
Notes for
heart?
life,
I
I'm
I'm
not
blinking. I'm
interested.
blink. Like, yeah, I don't want you to get stage fright while you're halfway through like fixing my
Yeah.
heart. That's
yeah.
pass.
Imagine
Next though.
how now in America. I mean, it's routine. It's almost they could probably do it in their sleep. But here in 2021, you're in a major city, in a major hospital, and they never did one angioplasty. That's scary. You know,
I can't do it.
when you think about it. So I don't blame him for taking. He literally taking his life into his own hands. I can't blame you, John.
Yeah, shit.
Okay, Lynn 102 says at Elmo J, there's a P-Night vlogger from Florida that posted her quarantine in Manila. Warning, I think she was paid by the hotel, but her YouTube name is Madam Keli. Yeah, she's like a celebrity here, this Madam Keli. Because they call her Madam Keli because she got these big old, I mean, she puts
Lashes.
her eyebrows are
The
way up
eyebrows are eyelashes. That's the
and
new
it
thing,
looks
the
crazy.
eyelashes.
Yeah. So they call her Madam Key. She's like a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
She was real. At one time, she was super popular. I think her popularity went down, but Harold Till says, oh, well, just have a beer, John, and a shot of rum. I don't know. If I were you, I would do that, John. Yeah, she sharpies her eyebrows. I mean, they're way up here, man. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I had to Google it real quick. I could see how that gimmick could definitely crush for however many years in Phil's.
Now, if you ever come over here with this jackfruit, yeah, I think it depends on the stage of the ripeness, John. But you're right, because when I was in Danban, Thai, and Cebu, there was an expat there, and his wife. They cooked us dinner, and I thought it was meat, but it was jackfruit. But here they don't eat it like that. Here they eat it. They wait till it, ripens all the way, and it's delicious. It's delicious fruit.
Look like tuna to me.
What, jackfruit?
Yeah.
Jackfruit, durian's the same fruit, right? Plain.
Or it might have been durian. It looked like tuna when they got.
You won't ever forget jackfruit. I mean, durian when you
durian stinks, right?
You smell like a corpse.
They said they say it's delicious. My first trip here to Cebu, she brought some durian in the hotel. The hotel room. It lit the hotel room up. I never tasted it, and I've never tasted it since. It's a bad smell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Jackfruit's langka in the Philippines. If you go to like Davao's like famous for durian, like even amongst Phil's, and they have this store Apo ni Lola, and you'll usually see like right next to durian stuff, jackfruit stuff.
Okay, Rudy, before you go, give us one crypto tip. Now, Rudy's, I'm going to put this out there. Rudy's not a financial advisor.
No, I'm not. But exactly. I do my due diligence and look around for the best kind you can get. So, what you call this? My forecast is that it's a good time to get into Ethereum right now because it's low, and sooner or later it's going to go back up. See if you can go into DeFi, which is a platform that I use, and also Cardano is a good buy if you want to try that. And finally, what you call this? If you guys want to do passive income and so forth, just tell Calvin to contact me, and then I'll tell you about the passive incomes that I got.
Yeah. I already gave Rudy I gave him a suggestion. I said, man, you just ought to start you a channel and just talk about that stuff. Share the information you got, but put the disclaimer you're not an advisor, because this guy really knows his stuff when it comes to crypto. And it's so many people, it's just so popular now. I mean, it doesn't mean, people, everybody's trying to get into it. I don't, for a lot of them for the wrong reasons, but you could help a lot of people, Rudy, as a matter of fact. This guy says, why do Filipino women want to talk on the phone 24/7?
Later. Bye.
I'll
All right,
run
take care, Rudy.
Talk about. Is that considered alpha? No, it's considered meddling. They want to know all your information before you even know who they are.
That's called trying to henpeck you and keep you under their thumb to know what the hell you're doing all damn day. That's what that's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what's the point anyway of talking on the phone all that time?
All them damn
You know,
questions.
you're 8,000 miles from away.
Yeah.
That's torture to me. I couldn't sit there all day. I don't know about anybody else. I can't sit there and look at a nice looking woman and all day and not be able to touch her or nothing. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's something on the side. See.
Yeah, that's crazy. Them long distance relationships, man, that's torture to me. Okay,
Bro, I
John's
don't even
gone.
want to
Take
talk
care,
about it. I'm
John.
sweating right now.
Huh?
So I don't even want to talk about it, bro. I'm sweating right now. Although I will say I'm fortunate enough that I'm in a position where I can afford for to like fly my girl outside of Phil's during this and see her consistently, like just in
Mm,
countries that aren't the Philippines.
for
But
sure.
that's, I mean, you can handle it in any other ways. If I wasn't serious about her, I would definitely. I mean, I probably would have just dumped her when I left. But uh, there's a billion ways to handle that. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. LDR, like, sustain. Opening LDR would be like crazy. Like, for me, I was dating my girl for a half a year before I left, and we were more or less living together for like 4 or 5 months. So for me,
Yeah.
well, so that's a little different than like if you're just meet someone online and then just talk and talk and talk. That's
Yeah.
pass. Yeah, that would be a pass
Let
for
me
me.
ask you, TJ, how does that work? You said you can fly your girlfriend out to places where she's able to go.
So as long
How
as you have
how
a
do you do that?
passport, so as long as you have a passport, you can fly to whichever countries. Generally, the ones that want to keep out places like emerging economies like the Philippines, they'll usually put some sort of monetary requirement. For example, Canada, Mexico, U.S. You have to make somewhere like multiple times outside of what the minimum wage would be considered in the Philippines in order to get a visa, or you have to have a your company that can sign off for you, or basically uh, some sort of financial guarantee that you're going to come back. Because otherwise, there's no guarantee. If you're in the Philippines and we let you go to the U.S., what's there to say you're not just going to stay in the U.S. so you can make more money? So there are a lot of visas like that. But as far as ASEAN countries and then certain countries in Europe and Africa go, they're more just focused on getting tourists into the country. So it's a little easier to get in. So, for example, uh, someone with a Filipino passport can, without like a bunch of
Mexico.
visa problems, get into Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, like Bali and stuff, Singapore. It's really easy to get a visa for other Asian countries like Korea or Japan. Um, but say, again, most of South America is going to be tough. But then you have stuff like Colombia, where if you're Filipino, you can get in visa free for, I think, 30 days extendable to 90 days.
But this is what I've run into right here. What this guy's saying. He said I tried to
Hmm.
meet her in Turkey, paid for a ticket, and she got offloaded at Clark. This is usually happens, like you said. They may get a visa to these places, but a lot of times their own government, their own immigration will prevent them from leaving the country. I had a friend that was going to, she had a visa and everything, was going to meet her boyfriend in Abu Dhabi, but she got to Manila and the immigration, um, you know,
Shut her down.
questioned her and gave her the interview and sent her back to Zamboanga. Um,
Yeah, I've heard of it happening a lot more prevalent, especially if you're like, for example, if you're unemployed or if you are working like as a bar girl. It's more from a human trafficking concern.
Yeah, I was just
yeah,
gonna say that.
They'll
That's why they
they'll
pull that
definitely
card.
flag them. If you're going,
Hmm.
usually Asian, you're gonna have a little easier time because if you're going to Thailand or if you're going to Indonesia or something, you're going to places that are financially not too far away situationally from the Philippines. So it's gonna be a little easier than if you're going to like the Emirates or like England or somewhere where there's a lot more to be gained and there's a more higher incidence rate of you being trafficked or mistreated. Or the other thing with that is a lot of companies will try to get OFWs over without like a proper contract and then lock them in by saying, hey, you know, you don't have to go in as OFW, just take this economy ticket and tell them XYZ, and then you end up in like Bahrain under a contract that's tantamount to slavery with some asshole holding your passport. So there's a
So,
lot of
Jay,
really reasonable
I'm saying,
reasons.
so what's your personal experience though? What did you have to do to get her out of the country?
Well, I mean, obviously this would be the first time doing this with this girl, but because the BPO industry is, I think, a little more considered like middle class or upwardly mobile, I haven't really run into that. But then again, most of the girls I date, like this would be like the median end of what they do. I date girls that are like supervisors or work in management or have a passport already for other reasons. So it's not really a problem I've ever run into. Um, Again, yeah, it's just one of those things where I know even for this, it's a risk until the first time until you see it, because after they see that first visa stamp, it's a little easier. But yeah, it's just a numbers game.
Yeah, because I know a lot of guys, that's what they're trying to do, and they're failing. They're not having success. And I guess it's um, like Maximus says, he said, poor females without a history of international travel, without that first
Yeah.
stamp on their TJ, they're often offloaded from flights because immigration officers think they are being trafficked. And I think that's what they're running into because everybody's trying to do this. That's why I was wanting your input. Maybe you can help these guys.
Well,
But
my
basically, what it
non-professional
is.
advice again is just don't start with somewhere wild and out of the way. Go somewhere that a Filipino on a like entry level or middle class salary could afford to go on Cebu Pacific or PAL. Because again, yeah, if you just magically show up with an Emirates ticket or whatever to the middle of nowhere and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to just go hang out and be a tourist. It's like, what's your job? And it's like, oh, nothing. Or like, I'm a custodian or like, something like that. There's probably going to be a red flag. But it could happen with anybody. I have a friend who's a dentist that got unexpectedly red flag going somewhere in Europe before. So even though she had again a visa and was clear to go, so you never really know. But I definitely get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Thanks for that super chat, Iskandari TV. He said, yes, you will be offloaded from a flight. You have to show a valid reason. Uh, they'll return you. Imagine if they could do that with no restrictions of getting a visa to another country. All of them would leave here. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And a friend, well, he's not really a friend, a subscriber. He got his girl over to Singapore because they set up a doctor's appointment, some type of medical procedure that she was supposed to have there. So they let her go through because all the other times he tried to get her to Singapore, he was unsuccessful. But when they set up um, this medical procedure, she was able to get through. Um, yeah, yeah. Harold Till says he's not telling how, but he basically is telling how to do it. Get her the passport, get her the visa, but make sure she's got a good job, make sure she's got some connections. Like, for instance, my girlfriend, by her having this house and lot, that's a good way. I'm pretty sure they let her go to somewhere like Thailand or Singapore or somewhere. What do you think, TJ?
Well, again, the whole thing is they want to make sure that there's no risk of you, being in such a desperate financial situation that you get trafficked, and there's no reason that you're like looking for illegal employment outside the country. So if you have a house, for
Yeah,
example, there's a lot more reason for you to go. And if say you have a job and a house, uh, there's a lot more reason for you to stay. If you have a job and a house and enough money over a period of time, most countries are going to ask for at least proof of like 6 months of income. If you get into the countries that have an income requirement, uh,
Damn.
it's going to it's going to make it look more like there's a reason for you to come back
Right.
because
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, there's definitely going to be a question. And a lot of times that's the visa interview will come beforehand, but uh yeah, some people are unfortunate enough that they get to NAIA and they get stopped and they get got. But yeah,
Yeah, he
I would
said,
definitely smaller countries, Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand, stuff like that.
thanks for the super
Maybe
chat.
Jamaica.
He says most girls would fly to Hong Kong, then take a flight from there to other countries. Yeah. Yeah, he says that the Philippine immigration usually grants visas if that Filipino has strong ties to the Philippines. That's what we've been saying. He says, like, a good job, like a teacher, if they own land here, got a certain amount of money in the bank. Um, Carl Vaughn says, I was able to get my girl to Dubai in December 2020. We joined the Facebook group and it took a lot of paperwork and luck. Oh, okay. December 2020, Dubai. Yeah, because I think she was going to Abu Dhabi. She had got the visa here, but the immigration, they outloaded her, man. They wouldn't let her. And that was, I just kind of found that crazy. Michael Honstead, thanks for the super sticker. He said, I got my tuxedo dry clean for next week. You won't need it. I think Seth's Travel Vlogs has changed her name. It's Seth's Philippine Diary now. And the vlog I did the other day about the Philippines producing a lot of alpha females. And, remember alpha being the behavior. Seth is a perfect example of an alpha female over here that I was talking about. Now, remember, that's just, most of us exhibit a combination of both the traits. But her and people like Filipino P, Gene, these are alphas, man. They found a way to escape that their surroundings, and they're basically out here on their own. They standing on their own. I mean, it may have took some help, but yeah, they developed a lot of those alpha traits. He says, yeah, the immigration interviews you twice. We have to get a CFO and affidavit of support, etc. Yeah, that's the name of that class I'm telling you guys about. When you apply for that K1, you marry and bring your girl over, she has to go to that CFO class. This is where they give her the 911, the 411, or whatever you want to call it, on your country and try to discourage her from going. He said, how many pigs does she need to own so they won't consider her a flight risk? This must be a joke. But
I'd say enough to own a farm with which to contain them and a truck from which to move them back and forth. And that's probably
Yeah,
enough that they might consider that you want to stay. So
yeah, truck,
I'm
farm,
gonna go on a
and the
limb and say
slaughterhouse.
70 to 80 pigs. Thank you for
now,
your question.
now you were saying something that I tried to explain to a guy the other day, as far as having money in the bank over a period of time. I told him, I said, don't just put a large sum of money in her account. That's going to be a red flag. Do it over 6 months or something, maybe a year, if that's what you're trying to do. But if you just throw two or three, $4,000 in her account at one time, and she's not working, um, that's going to be a red flag. They're probably going to turn you down. But thanks, Carl Vons. It's a CFO class, and I keep forgetting that. That's what that is. Uh, Let me go back to Moochie T because he makes a good point here. He said a lot of fruit in the U.S. comes from South America, so they are shipped frozen or with some kind of chemicals or preservatives to keep them fresh, which compromises taste, I think. Yeah, in Central America and whatever it is, it compromises the taste. It's not as sweet there as it is here, especially the bananas. I got to the point where I stopped eating bananas in America unless I was making one of them protein shakes or something, and just using frozen bananas. But what would you say you were, Chaz? Are you an alpha or a beta?
Who, me? Am
Yeah.
I an alpha? Of course I'm an alpha.
So
The
let me
hell?
read you. Let me read you what an alpha is, and tell me, are you still an alpha? Highly intelligent, fearless, natural leader, magnetic personality, super successful, great intuition, always sure to stay ahead in life, whatever that means. Not affected by criticism, fast decision maker, rarely admits your mistakes, does not allow others to interfere in their life, goal driven, knows how to charm a lady, usually unemotional. Is that you all the way, Chaz?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me all the way. It's probably about 75%.
Yeah,
And that's what I was saying earlier. Most people are going to be a mix. You might be 80-20 or 70-30 or 60-40.
Yeah.
But I agree with Calvin. There's few people that are going to be 100%. Because those people would be irritating as hell to be around all the time. Could you
yeah,
imagine that somebody with all the alpha traits and just trying to have a normal conversation about life
right,
doesn't
right.
come into an agreement with them? You'd go insane. Same thing with the beta. Imagine trying to, get something done with somebody. Oh, I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, that's
You'd
what I'm
go
saying.
in either way. You'd
Bitching
lose
and
your
whining all the time. Can't
yeah.
look at you, and shuffling and jiving all the time. Can't look you in the eye. Can't communicate. Yeah, it'd be tough. It'd be tough to do. I think we're a combination,
Yeah.
and this isn't an argument. This is something I thought, because I hear people use that term all the time. Rock said that the other day. He said, the reason me and my Filipino wife didn't get along because I was an alpha male and she was an alpha female. And I just started hearing that term all the time. And without people really knowing, we just think, oh, well, the alpha man is just the dominating guy. But it's a lot more to it than that. Uh, yeah, he said most of us have both traits. I love LaChon says those alphas sound like corporate executives. He said, let's face it, the alphas will call the police on you.
Damn sure will. Even when you
um,
don't do anything. But
so that's what the
But
current
yeah,
is.
I
Hey,
agree
they ain't,
though. It's like, oh my bad. Go on.
no, I'm saying they're not playing about this. If you're not fully vaccinated in Manila, you can't ride public transportation. And they're saying if these jeepneys and bus operators, it's a $5,000 peso fine, the first offense. Second offense is 10,000 and a 30-day impounding. And then for the third offense and above is 15,000 and suspension or cancellation of your license, of your franchise. That's, because there's a lot of Filipinos who haven't been vaccinated. Uh, my I got a foot scrub the other day, and I just asked the lady, I said, well, are you vaccinated? She said no, and she gave me this crazy reason why she wasn't. I didn't ask for the reason. She just said she wasn't. And it's a lot of people over here that still aren't vaccinated, but this isn't America. They'll discriminate. They'll make you get it eventually.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of vaccine hesitancy in the Philippines too, because I mean just all sorts of stuff. The fact that a lot of people get their news from social media instead of news. The whole Dengvaxia scandal a few years back has a lot of young adults or people like, in that late 20s to I'd say late 40s range suspicious about vaccines and just in general, once you get away from the big cities, it's a lot of hearsay and like, games of telephone going on. So by the time you hear about COVID, if you're, on some little far-flung village in, Ilocos del Sur or whatever, you might think that the vaccine turns you into a robot, or makes you allergic to sunlight or something. So I
No, it turns
I
you into a
understand
walking
what.
magnet.
Oh
Remember
yeah, no,
the
Blind.
yeah.
key and the paper clip, the
Oh no,
spoon. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I work in a position where I'll meet with, when I was in the Philippines, I'd meet with my team. I try to meet everybody on my team, which is relatively large, it's 50, 60 people, once a month, once every 4 to 6 weeks, let's say. And at the beginning, I really did have some folks that were like, yeah, I don't want to get the jab because I don't want to turn into a robot. And they would like laugh nervously about it, but they wouldn't really have a super valid reason past that, and be like, I don't want to, get in an awkward position. I'm like, well, they're gonna mandate it soon, so you're going to be in an awkward employment position if they require you to get the vaccine to be here, and you don't want to get it because you're going to be a robot. You're going to be human. You're going to be an unemployed human, but you will be human. I'll give you that.
Let me ask you guys
Here's
a question before we get off here, because this is what my next vlog is basically going to address. When you decided to come over to the Philippines, I know you're going to be different, TJ, because your job sent you over here. Did you get a lot of feedback, man? Did you get a lot of negative feedback? And the reason I say, I was watching a video on YouTube. I think it was, there's a guy's got a real popular channel. It's called Zoom to Thailand, where some guys were really beating him up, and and saying, "Oh, you come over here to Thailand because you can't get a woman at home, or you can't make it in your own country." And did any of y'all get that, or have you ever heard any of that type of talk? Especially you, Alpina. You done married a Filipina now. She's back in America. Has any of y'all ever experienced anything like that?
Nah,
no.
not necessarily. No, not really. Nah.
And to be honest, if they did come at me like that, I really wouldn't give a shit anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
because I hear it all the time, though. They'll say, "Oh, you're just going over to the Philippines because you can't make it in your own country." Well, you don't understand that most of the guys who end up over here, they've already retired, so they've already made it over there.
you
Right.
Or
know,
they'll
Cal, in my opinion on that, that's
open,
that
you can't
line
get a
that you
woman in
just
your own country. And most of the
right,
guys who end up over here, they've had one or two divorces over there.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And
No, but my opinion is they ain't those are the guys who don't have a passport. A, B, have never been anywhere outside the 48, the lower 48, and just their vision of travel is sitting there watching the Travel Channel or the Discovery Channel. That's it. They've never experienced anything other than what's in their front door. That's it.
Next
yeah,
pack.
Yeah,
and
I
they
would
may
say
not
So
for
say
me,
it to they may not say it to you, but guys, that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, that's why I said not necessarily. You know, you get the looks. Uh, from I'll say like a lot of black women. You know what I'm saying? When they see me with my wife or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They look and shit, and then they do this, and you know what I mean? And, in so many ways, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But not they don't come straight out and just tell you or ask you or something like that. Nah, they ain't. But
I think it's mostly younger guys, like in TJ and your. These are the ones who they were bashing this guy, and I was like, man, what is going on with these guys? I mean, they were dead serious about it, because he had did a video. He showed his, he got a beautiful woman, by the way, and she's folding his clothes, and he's telling, our experience over here, how they take good care of you and do it. Oh, you couldn't
yeah,
get that at home. What's the point of that, though? I don't understand it. That's why he came here. The Earth is approximately 197 million square miles. You know, if if you can't find it there, why not go somewhere else
yeah,
and find
because
it if you can?
it's
I was
hard to
just
find it
wondering
here.
if you guys ever experienced it because they think
I
you're
mean,
weak.
A lot of times that's just salt though, because they'll see the
Yeah,
same cats that did find that here, and they'll be like, "Oh, she's only with you because you got money," or "Oh, she must, she must be taking you for a ride," or "Oh, it's only because this, that, or this." So those sort of people are always gonna find a reason to downplay your success. It's just a matter of what excuse they use. So all you can really do is ignore that kind of noise anyway. For me, it's wild because I've seen like the perspective on Southeast Asia change. Like when I first went to Thailand in late '06, early '07, and there wasn't really a stereotype to be had about Thailand yet. Like it was definitely a really heavily visited city, but still mostly by like Europeans and Southeast Asians. So when I told people, they were like, "Where the f- is Thailand?" And and then I remember there was a visible perception in like the public eye in America on Thailand, and that's when The Hangover 2 came out. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Oh, Thailand! Oh, you're going there! Oh, you're gonna go find, you're gonna go hook up with some, lady boys or some bar girls, or you're gonna go get drunk and get into a Cobra fight, or go drink Cobra whiskey, or all
Some
this
dumb
other
shit.
ridiculous stuff." Yeah, just random dumb shit. And then, like, as the internet blew up and you started to see more of these exposés and, like, um, YouTube documentaries on Thailand, that's when you started to see people be like, oh, you're going there for this or that. But now it's starting to swing around. Now there's so much travel and there's so many travel vloggers and people just going just to go
That's
that you're
right.
kind of starting to see that perspective. I kind of feel like as far as Southeast Asian travel goes, where Thailand goes, like the rest of the region goes. So I think we're finally getting around again to people just being like, oh, Thailand, that's a super dope place to go, instead of like Thailand and then behind your back like, yeah, he can't get no booty back home.
yeah. It just seems like we're seen as weak when we leave America or the West, and we have tunnel vision in America. We're very narrow minded. We're only 4% of the Earth's population, but we think that everything happens around the world the same as it does in America. So if you can't make it in America, they say you can't make it anywhere. They'll say our women are the standard. So you're weak because you can't get a woman in America. Well, who says American women are the standard? But everything in America, we've been brainwashed. We drink the Kool-Aid over there, man. We think that we're the standard
No.
for all the rest of the world. And I think, like you said, TJ, now that people are getting out and traveling around, they're busting that bubble, man. That's not the truth. But they look at guys like me and say I'm weak. They don't realize I made it over there. I made it pretty good over there. I'm not here
I've
because
dated just about every ethnic group that has been able to visit the U.S. Russian, Ukrainian, Latinas, European Americans, and Black women. I've never had a problem meeting a woman, nor have I had a problem dating a woman. My problem is finding a woman that appreciated me for me. When I have encountered a Filipina or other uh, Asian ethnic group, while we got along, I was appreciated for me. And the same thing with Latinas. But when we start talking about American women, it's what can I do for them instead of what can we do together,
Right.
if that makes sense.
I ain't trying to hear that.
They don't want to hear that. It's very few and far between that look at it and want to build together
Yeah.
as opposed to pulling you down while they uplift themselves. Okay. So when we go outside of our comfort zone and travel the world and meet different ethnic and culturally um, based women, then we're looked at as Calvin said,
We
we're weak. We're turning our back on our culture, our our own women, and that's not the case. How about our women in the States start looking at us and appreciating us as we are and stop trying to change us and make us something that we aren't. We all got character flaws. We all have physical and mental flaws. We don't need to come home to hear that crap. We're not going to hear that with Filipinos. And in most cases, not even with a Latina, you're not going to hear that.
A lot of times,
That's just how I think.
It's not even the woman. They throw the woman in there too. They just said, "Oh, you can't get a woman over here, so you go over there," and it's just seen as a weakness. But these last two comments are where I am. I think when you have, it takes courage to get out of that box, and I'm talking about leave everything behind and start over in another country. That takes some alpha traits right there. That's not a beta that's going to do that. No. Those, the name of my video is going to be, I've never met a loser in the Philippines. I've never met a loser overseas over here. I mean, whether he's here visiting or whether he's an expat, I've never met one. They've always successful. It goes against the grain of what you hear online of these guys. Oh, he's weak. Pushing back on you. You should be here. One guy, he sent me an email, long email, brother, you should be here. All your intelligence, all your knowledge, you should be here sharing that with a black woman. I said, well, that's your opinion, man. It's not mine. How
about when you did share it with your ex-wife? How well was it appreciated? How well was it? How well was that appreciated? You've spoken a number of times about how your situation ended and why you ended up in the Philippines or marrying a Filipino. Did he miss that part? Did he not hear that part? Yeah. How you picked yourself up and built her something, gave her something, and then she turned around and she didn't appreciate what you gave her. That's where I'm coming from with that. You see, that's why these guys who are afraid to go down to the post office or the passport agency to fill out a document, pay that couple of $100, wait the length of time it takes to get that passport, research an airline ticket, get their ass on an airplane and fly 22 hours just to enjoy life for 2 or 3 weeks. And in some cases, only a week, because that's all they got. But just to enjoy life, to experience something outside of their front door, away from their front yard, they have no room to talk. They just got no room to talk. I don't want to get my blood pressure up because that's what that's just pissing me off to hear something like that.
That's just something. Mark is right. He says jealousy. He says if you're expanding your horizon, they're afraid of being left behind. I believe that too, but I just don't understand why they jumped on the guy. But it's not just him; it's anybody that pulls up roots and goes somewhere else, especially Southeast Asia. We get it, man. We get kicked in the balls. Like you weak. They always question our character. Here comes Booby. Get out of here. Hey, guys, but we got to get off here, man. I'm going to give y'all the last word. What's up, Alpina? What's going on, man? When you coming back over here?
Man, I can't even call it. My wife will be there before I would, but hopefully before the year is out.
Because you can come over here. You can come over here at any time with your wife.
Yeah, with her, I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we supposed to go there in December, but that airfare was too steep, so she gonna go there in March, and then I'll probably go through there in July.
Yeah.
But it was nice meeting y'all, TJ. Nice meeting you, Chaz.
It was nice talking to you, brother.
Well, I'd like to have you on here, man, because you actually married to a Filipino. You took your Filipino back to, how long she been in America?
6 years.
Do you see a change?
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, not too bad, but I mean, it's still tolerable. I can deal with it. He cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff,
But
man.
yeah, he definitely gonna change a little
Yeah,
bit. I mean, depends, all depends. But they're gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we go over there, we gonna change too. Be it for the better, or you know what I'm saying, or
yeah.
whatever. But yeah. But I
America's the
mean,
big.
we're still strong.
It changes you though. It's so fast over there compared to here.
Oh
What
yeah.
about you, Chaz? Give us a last word, man.
I'm waiting. I can't wait. I can't wait. I need to kick out sunshine, beaches, just hearing the get that rooster crowing for 2 3 days to get on my last nerve, and walking into the store. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I
That shit get
remember
on
the
my nerve.
first time I heard that, it got on my nerve. But then I realized it's
It's
part of
cool
the,
though.
yeah, it's them, because you go to the store here in the States, yeah, what's up? Maybe, or then they give me the
Yeah.
side eye trying to see what you're
Yeah.
picking up. In the
We ain't
Philippines, it's
used to.
completely different.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country with beautiful people.
Yeah.
Uh, it's easy to get sucked into that warmth while they're shaking your hand and they're stealing your watch at the same time. So you got to keep your street smarts, keep your head on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
swivel, and respect. Most of all, respect
Respect.
the people and the culture.
Yeah.
Respect the people and the culture. Don't don't be afraid. Get on the
What
plane.
part of the Philippines are you coming to?
That's a good question, Cal. I mean, I've gone into Manila. I tell you what. When I went in 2011, I got sick in Cebu, and by the grace of God, my best friend, I spoke to her the day before I got sick. I got food poisoning real bad for like 4 days,
Mm.
and she picked me up in Lapu Lapu, and we got over to Dumaguete. That night, when I got over to Dumaguete, my body just shut down. And if it wasn't for her, I would have still been. I may not have left Cebu.
Damn.
Yeah. Give us something. Give us something to chomp on, TJ, for the rest of the day.
I mean, for me, enjoy it while you're here. There's definitely stuff in Phil's that you're gonna miss while you're here, but there's stuff that you're gonna miss about here when you're in Phil's. You're gonna miss, internet that doesn't have a risk of going out whenever it rains, or
Oh
the
yeah.
magic of roosters. And trust me, somebody said, I might move just to get away from the roosters. The roosters follow you into the city. Like
Hell yeah.
it took me getting up to the 60th floor or so, some change to get away from the roosters, and then you just hear the honking. So there is no winning that one.
Yeah,
But
stop signs
there's
don't matter either.
no, not at all.
Hey,
So there's
Michael,
always something you'll miss.
get rid of this guy right here. He said John is dead.
The
The
fuck?
ghost of
Wow.
baby sunshine.
Excuse my mouth.
Yeah, this is a troll. Get rid of him, guys. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining the live stream today. Thanks for all your super chats, super stickers, thumbs up. Thanks to my great panel today. Uh, y'all really had some great points, especially that gray area. That's something that's so true about the Philippines. A lot of gray area over here because in America, we're brought up to think it's black and white. It's either this or it's that. But over here, it is a lot of gray area. But I like that, TJ. I like that gray area. And I like a lot of the unpredictability over here. John said that the only thing about the Philippines, the only thing consistent about it is this, the inconsistency. I've gotten kind of used to that. I
Yeah.
kind of like that. That's one of the reasons I wanted to leave America. I had that same routine. I got stuck in a rut. You look at the definition, rut is just means a grave, man. It's like the living dead for me. I wanted something different. It wasn't about women. It wasn't about being weak. I couldn't make it over there because I certainly made it over there. But I just want, in my later years, man, I want to explore my options, man. If it's something out here better for me, that's what I want. I gave America 55 years. I don't think I ever live there permanently again. Will I go visit my children and grandchildren? Absolutely. But Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. I got to get out for here. Waiting on Rock Harmon. We're supposed to go out to lunch today. Okay, Boo. Thank you. Take care, guys.
All right, take care.
See y'all next time.
All right.
Booby's bothering me. Well, she wants
Peace.
to say hello, Boo. Say hello.
Ah,
Hey, cutie pie.
hey.
Say wait, Boo. Wait. Now she wants to be shy.